Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
UFO is approaching our sector. Jet squadrons investigate.
Intruder attention. We demand that you reveal your identity.
Oh, God. They should have some Vegemite. Oh, my God. Looks sad.
I thought that was George Takai for a second.
Oh, my.
Vegemite.
Okay, Johnny, let him go.
Boobies.
Boobs.
Oh, no.
Round 1. Fight.
Vegemite.
Boobs.
Big fat titties.
They should have some Vegemite.
Chrissie Mayr's boobs wins. T-Detality.
Oh, God. Oh.
Nerdrotic.com.
I wish I had the applause thing, but we don't. So we'll just
We can do it.
get rid of this.
Hell yeah. We are live early. What the hell's going on, Gary?
Late
It's
but early. It's late and early.
At the
Yeah,
same
I have
time.
no idea what the fuck is going on, dude. I lost 3 hours of time, and I was 2 planes yesterday. And yeah, I'm in Maryland, somewhere in Maryland. Where am I? Bushwhack, Brunswick, Bushwhack, Maryland, wherever the fuck I am.
The skinny part or the thick part?
The thick part.
Oh.
The girthy part of Maryland for Friday Night Tights in the morning. So it's our morning cup of Joe or whatever the hell you drink in the morning. Some of you like frosty spirits, and some of you don't. So, and we've got 2 great guests today. And yes, I'm here because I'm going to be on Tim Pool later. So I'm going to be on Timcast IRL. Thanks, Chrissie.
Hell yeah.
By the way. Somebody put in a good word for me, I hear. So, and thank you very much. And I'm going to be on later. And I think it's like 7 or 8 o'clock. Not really sure. But dude, up front, like classy operation. I got to say, they flew me out. They put me up. Mrs. Nerdrotic's in the room with me. So I got somebody to yell at me if I say something stupid besides you guys. And we could just go on with the show. Because I've seen Squid Game, which everybody is talking about it. And I was just talking to Ryan about this in our very long pre-production meeting, which we do all the time. That I almost didn't want to watch it because everyone was watching it. So I don't know how many other people had that feeling, but I did.
Yeah,
sure.
I just wanted to be an edgy goth kid. There were just way too many people liking it. So I'm like, I'm not going to watch it.
I'm not going to like it.
So I'll hold off a little bit on it. But the one thing, everybody seems to like it, which you can't say too often right now in current day Hollywood, because this isn't coming from fucking Hollywood. And I think that's the big takeaway.
Exactly. So let's go around the horn, and we'll start with the most above average man on the internet, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. What's up, man?
I'm back now that Gary's on the road. I'm back. So an amazing trip to Boston, New York, Baltimore, Tampa, Orlando. Finally back home now, and it was awesome. So shout out to the Geeks and Gamers community. Everybody's just, man, you guys were so supportive. And I got to go to Trump Tower and film and offend some people, which is always a good day as far as I'm concerned. But it was great. It was cool. I had some other stuff too going on that then, had to take that stuff down because a certain former White House press secretary retweeted, and some executives were like, what the hell's going on? So, but I'm sure most of you saw that. But it was a pretty awesome trip, to say the least. But yeah, I'm happy to be back. Friday Night Tights. Gary's going to be on Tim Pool, kicking ass, taking names. Dan Vask has got his the fan video out of the Friday Night Tights theme. We're going to play that later on, so stay tuned for that. It's great to be part of FNT for sure. So happy to be here. Let's get it started.
Yeah, how is it? I mean, like, how weird is it that you got retweeted by the former press secretary of the president of the United States? How
I know.
Fucking Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
Dude, I'm standing there in camo boots and my ripped jeans talking to Kayleigh McEnany, and she's just like, and the other girl that was on the Fox News show, that when they came out of the green room, they were like, Geeks and Gamers. So this other girl knew who Geeks and Gamers was, but I was too focused on the fact that I'm standing with Kayleigh McEnany, and I forgot about the other girl. So I apologize to you.
How did she smell?
Amazing. Everything. She smelled like $1 billion. But yeah, it was. I told her, how much of a supporter I am of the president and everything, and yeah, it was crazy. So
that's the only type of question that Joe Biden would have a much more specific answer than Jeremy would. How did she smell?
Freesia and chamomile.
Yeah, no, good stuff. And only reason we're able to do all these crazy things that we're able to is because of all of you. We can't thank you enough. So shout out to everybody in the chat, everybody that supports us.
Absolutely. Like, none of this happens. I mean, yeah, it's an obvious statement, but we have to make these statements and express our gratitude, and we can never, ever do it enough. You guys are brilliant. You know what else is brilliant? Having Az back.
Absolutely. Yes.
Hi.
We missed the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude. Welcome back, my brother.
We don't accept you. So we even moved the time up just so he's not so sleepy. That's why we did it. So
Timple had nothing to do with it.
What time is it wherever you live?
It is it should be 6 o'clock, but it's 7 o'clock because Gary managed to make the early show late. So I was thinking, oh great, be out of here at 9:30. No, now it's 10:30. So that's that night fucking ruined again. Great. I wasn't gonna wear my Smeg top, which I've been wearing because I've been cleaning the house. I had a shark costume, but I bought the wrong batteries.
You have a shark costume, but you bought the wrong batteries. That doesn't even make sense.
It's inflatable, and it grows up to 7 feet. And then I was actually worried that there's so many shit in here that there might actually be an inflatable shark wedged between toys and table that dies a slow, lingering death over the next couple of weeks.
Has your furniture become like the Hot Toys casing boxes?
My furniture is currently housing cardboard boxes and cardboard boxes. I have one seat on a sofa downstairs available for my fat ass.
As I used to sleep on my comics, dude. So I had the long boxes all set up and put a futon on top of them. So don't feel
We're
bad.
nearly there.
Yeah.
Because I got to find somewhere for them to go soon, and it could be under the bed. I mean, literally under the bed, which is my mattress. So,
you could put it in the closet like Daniel Craig has clearly been for the past 10 years.
I miss my soundboard.
Well, the closet seems to be rather full of people right now. So.
Well, I don't know. John Kent came popping right out of there. So
yeah, he rose.
Yeah,
As been rocking that.
Robins and Superman and all kinds of shit in those closets right now.
Az has been rocking that rebellion hat. You like that thing, don't you?
Yeah, I'm growing my hat.
Rebellion hat. So he broke the Undertaker's. He broke the Undertaker's record at 9 line. Drunk 3PO did with those hats.
No shit.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
So,
Can you still get them?
Now he's got T-shirts and hats out right now. There's about a week and a half left. If you go to his Twitter, you can find it.
If one of the mods
could
put a link in, that would be nice.
But 9 line, it's good stuff what Junk 3PO has been doing. So shout out to him and everybody who's been supporting.
Is that a record for shout out to Drunk 3PO early on in the show?
Yeah, that early, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll throw this away then.
Yeah. Az, welcome back, brother. We missed you, man.
Hell yeah.
Hello, Odin.
What's going on?
Do we have breakfast pizza today?
Nah, fortunately, no actual pizza, but I still have that gummy pizza that was sent to me, so pizza is still here.
That thing will outlast us all.
No, seriously. Literally, it's just pure sugar. Just pure, unadulterated sugar. Yep. But I do have some snacks, so I have got some goldfish and some cookies.
I love goldfish.
Those are like school snacks.
Yeah.
Did you take those from the kids?
No, because it's fall break, so I've had the whole week off, which has been very nice.
Is that unleavened bread?
It looks like it's a chocolate chip cookie, actually. Chocolate chip.
Oh.
I love how every time I pull Gary is a little slower on the button, but I do have shout out to Quarter Black. And I saw that Chrissie has the same mug as I do.
Yeah,
buddies.
Yeah.
Well, I saw that, Crowder conveniently gets a hard strike, nothing for a week. So Quarter Black just gets a little more time off, I guess. So
no, they're still doing their show on their website.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I was joking.
Yeah, because he's not here. So
he's in the comments. So what's up, Quarter Black?
Oh, you got time to be in the comment section, but not on the show, huh?
He's probably like standing next to Crowder, like they're about to do some really dumb skit, and he's like watching.
Yeah. He's probably in like diapers or something. I don't know, whatever humiliating thing they do. What's up, Comics Division?
Oh man, it's been a glorious week, man. I'm excited for tonight. I'm really looking forward to seeing you on Tim Pool's show tonight. I think this is fantastic.
I'm not nervous. I'm cool.
No, I'm sure.
I'm
sure you're not nervous at all, man.
Good.
Steady as a rock, right?
There's alcohol there. Oh wait, never mind. Shit.
Yeah. It's the I just got over the terror of getting on planes. I hate flying, right? So and I got on 2 planes yesterday. So that's all I think about. So just being on Timcast is no problem. It's the plane ride home I hate.
There you go.
And that's why I drive everywhere.
You like injected poison with like dirty needles in your body for like fucking decades, and you're worried about getting on a plane.
Yeah, I figured I tempted death long enough my entire life. Why don't make any? I'm not going to go climb any mountains or go jump out any planes. Why would I tempt it even more?
Well, and for those of you that were wondering, that was not a Vax allegory. Just pointed out there. Yeah, to make sure.
If it makes you feel any better, it's actually the safest way of traveling, despite the disastrous results when it does go wrong.
And never mind that but I'll be fine.
I'm with
It'll
you on
be
that,
fine.
Gary. Like we talked last night, because I told I haven't talked to Gary in like a week almost. It's just like FST. He's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Dude, I've been driving every fucking where. I'm just exhausted, but it's better than flying. I don't like flying." And statistically speaking, me driving is far safer than anyone else flying because I've never had a wreck, and I'm not going to unless someone.
That just means you're dude, Jeremy.
Yeah, no, that just means I'm a great driver.
I've seen the way you drive, Jeremy, and
I'm a fantastic driver, a fantastic driver. And you have to watch out for all these other fucking losers on the road because they're the ones that's the problem. But as long as you can make sure you're aware of everything around you, you'll be fine. But that's why I drive everywhere.
Some of the best videos were driving Miss Odin around in freaking New Orleans.
Oh, that's just so good. When I was looking for hookers in New Orleans with Odin,
that emasculation was
Odin,
not offensive.
Like we were sitting next to your church, and I'm like, "There's got to be a hooker out here."
Terrible,
absolutely terrible,
awful people.
As someone who literally never drove around the city ever, because I just stayed out of the city because I had no reason to be there.
Problem. You're out hunting for hookers, and your problem is I've never been driving around the city before.
No, but like
was absolutely mad.
Odin's not.
The hookers,
Odin's
though,
not.
they were fine.
Odin's not someone that likes to get out and socialize with the people. Like
I'm an introvert.
Yes, very much. So with me driving around New Orleans the way I do, live streaming, looking for hookers, and interacting with people that are doing air guitars on the side of the road dressed as Darth Vader, you were like, what the hell is going on? And then I left you alone to go to the ATM so I could tip the guy. And you're like, where are you going?
Because you're like, do you have any money? Do you have any money? I'm going to get this guy some money.
Odin, I'm the same way in public. I just completely shut down. So.
Yeah, that is 100% lie right there.
Such an introvert. Yeah,
Ryan's the most obnoxious human being alive, especially in public. It's I don't even like
in public with alcohol.
Look, at that point,
With
Geeks
or
and Gamers
without.
is not associated with Ryan Kennel or in public. My God, it's embarrassing. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't care who's around. He's like, hey, so we're here. Like, we all go to Shake Shack, okay, Boston, to eat. We all sit down. Nice. And Ryan turns to come, hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Ryan. We're here at fucking Shake Shack. We're gonna eat these fucking burgers. And I'm going, there's kids here, bro. He's like, fuck this, fuck that, fucking piece of shit. And I'm like,
I would have become the Homer Simpson meme and just melted into that.
Well, and there was a time because I guess Tommy had told Jeremy he thought I was gonna get my ass beat because we were walking through and I'm like recording. I'm like, I don't even know if I was recording at this point, but I swear every fucking church in the Northeast has a big Black Lives Banner flag and a big like pride flag.
yes,
And
everyone.
every single one. And I go by and said, what? And I said that.
We
Why
were
is
in
every
Salem.
fucking
We were in
church-
Salem when you did that.
Yeah, so why is every fucking church here, every single one, plastered with this garbage, this Black Lives Matter bullshit? Why do they feel
loud.
the need?
It was so loud.
It's like the one black guy in Salem, Massachusetts heard me, and Tommy thought it was going to be a big deal. I didn't care.
Hi, Ryan. I guess this is a good time to welcome you to the show.
That's basically my introduction, right? Yeah, it's good to be on. I, as well, am really excited for Gary going on Tim Pool. I think it's going to be huge and fucking incredible. So really excited to see that. And yeah, I'm glad I got back from Boston a little early, could really grind away. I've been fucking grinding. I think over a 72-hour period, I made something like 34 videos and did like 5 streams across all the different channels. So I'm just in that mood.
Just wait. He's about to upload a My Channel is Under Attack video any day now.
It's true.
And Ryan, like half those videos ended with you saying, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah.
I'm like,
I was watching his Amazon one yesterday, and he's just going, and then go fuck yourself, Amazon ends.
Oh, great.
I don't know. I don't even remember. But yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds right.
Awesome. I grinded too, man. I recorded a video that didn't come out. So because of copyright claim, and I'm not gonna give Warner Brothers their money. Fuck them. So I'm fighting it right now, and we'll see if I win. Thanks for the template, by the way, Ryan. I appreciate that.
No problem. It's only not worked once, and that was with Lethal Lightning for some Amazon or anime shit. Whatever.
Because
Japan, whatever.
Freaking Japan. Their ethno state. Speaking of ethno states, hi, Chrissie Mayr. How's it going?
Good. I think it would be cool if we could have like Ryan's like blood pressure meter like during the course of the show.
I'd be totally down for that. I'm sure we could figure out a way. I know Dick Masterson at one point had a pulse thing so you could see his heart rate. Like I think he did anyway. Maybe I might be wrong, but somebody did. I saw this had just a little finger thing to tell your pulse as you went through the show, so you could tell when they're really pissed off about shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'd be totally supportive of that.
I had to buy one of these little finger clampers, like when we all like had COVID. Like you stick your finger in there and it tells you how much oxygen is in your blood.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's always like 99%.
You can stick different things in there and see how much oxygen is in whatever.
Like nipples.
You know,
Penis.
I had some time.
I guess.
Yeah. Things are good. Happy to be here. So excited to see Gary on Tim Pool. Yeah, very excited.
Thanks.
It'll be great.
I'm sure it'll be. I'll try not to suck I'll just, that's all I'm going to try to do is not suck. And thanks for being here, Chrissy. I wanted to wait till you had a bite of pizza before I introduced you. So I was just waiting for the timing was just to be right. So thanks for being here. And then we have Chris Gore has returned by popular demand, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Demanded this. So
speaking of sucking, I'm back for a second time. I'm even surprised. But Gary, I'm so pumped that you're going to be on Tim Pool. Normally I'm watching FNT on a Friday night. I don't watch Tim Pool on a Friday night. This is going to be my first time. I'm so excited for you to be on there. It's just well earned. So excited.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's cool. And just because the chat keeps asking, Odin has his pizza. I have my underwear. I'll show you what underwear I'm wearing today. This is not officially licensed because I like to get bootleg stuff. But it's Star Wars. If you want to put me full screen, you can see.
Nice.
This is my Star Wars underwear.
Let me.
Which is, here we go. And then here's
find the right button first.
Oh my God, they're tiny. Okay, give me a break.
May not look like much, but I gotta wear it counts.
Oh.
Hell yeah! Wow. Placement. Placement. I tell you.
Everybody was asking. Everybody was asking. Like, I always like 2 pairs of the same underwear. Yeah, so I'm just excited to be here and talk about a lot of stuff happened this week. And there's going to be the Batman trailer tomorrow, which I'm sure you all have videos. I can't wait to watch those. But that's tomorrow. That's the DC Fandom thing. There's one thing I'm looking forward to, which is that trailer. Cannot wait. Yeah.
Well, there's this one asshole that had like 25,000 subs that made a trailer reaction. I don't know how he got 25,000 subs, but I can't wait to see his reaction. Gary. That was Gary. So Gary. Gary at the time you had 25,000 subs or whatever on Nerdrotic Daily or live when you did that. So Gary did a reaction that got ratioed to hell. And
only video to get ratioed.
Somebody in the comments were like, how the fuck does this guy have 25,000 subs? And I'm like, you might be upset if you see his main channel if that bothers you. I personally am looking forward. I'm looking forward to Robert Pattinson's Batman. I love the first trailer, but we'll see what happens. So
I think that Pattinson's going to do whatever he's asked to do. Like I really do. But it'll be what the direction they want to go in. Based on what we've heard, I think I will like it. But I don't know if I think it's going to be a little bit split for the general public because it's going to be fucking like an R-rated, almost horror film. Like that's kind of what it sounds
with that part. I'm okay with that part. At the time when the trailer came out, I like Ben Affleck's Batman.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just tired of seeing a Batman who's just beginning or in his second year, and and it's going to be focused more on the rogues gallery of villains. Actually, that's what the director said. I'm blanking on his name right now, but
Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves, yeah, the Jar Jar Abrams acolyte, do you want to call it? Or I don't know. He's one of the better ones, I will admit, with the Planet of the Apes movies, which I liked. I thought those were good. But I didn't like that costume. I know I just hated it. But we'll see. I have an open mind, and if they go rated R and do like a 7-ish thing with it, and it's not like mystery box J.J. Abrams bullshit, I'm all for it. And
I just hope the trailer doesn't give too much of the Riddler away, because I'm a big Paul Dano fan, and I just can't wait to see his take on that character.
Yeah, but it won't be comic book, which that's right. That's the thing is I'm Paul Dini's and Bruce Timm's Batman the Animated Series is definitive Batman to me.
Absolutely.
I would love to see just a proper adaptation of that. Maybe even getting Paul Dini to do it. Maybe he can't. A lot of people can't jump from animation to live action, but that's always what I've wanted.
I mean, they basically have a template. I don't see why they couldn't do it.
Yeah, with
Warner Brothers is dumb.
Yeah, of course, that's the big problem.
I jumped the gun a little bit when Pattinson was announced, just because it's not that I have anything against him, but just I felt like the stigma of Twilight would be too much to overcome. But then a lot of people were like, hey, he's actually been working really hard on like a lot of indie films or lesser known films to kind of hone his craft. And so, I looked in a little further and had a little more open mind going into that trailer, and I was really surprised by it.
He's actually a pretty decent actor.
The big news was that he was refusing to work out. Like he was decidedly not going to go on the Batman workout plan. He was just going to be like, no lattes.
I think
think it's blown out of proportion.
I think
Yeah,
it was
out of
too. I think
context.
it was like a dry humor fucking joke from him. That because literally like the next day he was like pictured running and fucking doing workout routines and shit like that in the park. So
Isn't
I
that
think
kind
it
of
was-
how he is? Isn't he a little bit of a troll?
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind
he
of
is.
fucking.
From
I
what
don't
I
know.
hear.
We can ask the New Zealander about dry British humor, but that's what I've heard.
I don't know, but wait, did Michael Keaton work out in 1989's Batman? I mean,
People didn't work out in the 80s,
Didn't
except
look
for the
like it.
gays.
You want to get nuts?
80s gay. Never forget 80s gay.
80s
Yeah.
That's what we're big fans
so
of.
Gary, that
Yeah.
video that was taken down was that something to do with Dune?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
117 people got to see it somehow because I sat on my phone and accidentally put it in the new release my
or
playlist.
something.
That happens all the
yeah.
time. I had like a Razor Fist video on my new release, which I don't care. Fucking, I love Razor Fist. But yeah, so 117 people in the middle of the night when it got in my new release playlist for like 5 minutes saw it. So they got to see it. But yeah,
That's
it's just
amazing.
filled with the trailer because I have to put it in there because for one, I can. It's fair use. I have absolutely every right to do that. And
Absolutely.
Warner Brothers fucking abuses the system. Disney doesn't. MGM used to be bad, but they don't do it anymore. Sony doesn't do it anymore. It's only Warner Brothers who abuses the system. Fuck them. So I'm gonna beat it. I'm gonna fight it. But
They will overturn it quickly. Because I fucking probably 20 different copyright claims to different trailer reactions with Warner Brothers, and it's usually like 24 or 48 hours. It's done.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous that there's no repercussions for them for abusing the system when I would love to see their ratio of how often they're actually correct. I imagine it's probably not very often.
It's not. And somebody hit me for a partial copyright claim for a cover song. Perry put it in on the Bond video just for like 10 seconds, and it's a lowered volume, and I'm talking over the entire thing. And the guy who did the cover song dinged me for it. I won that one too, by the way. Told him to fuck off. But yeah,
fuck
I
you.
like Dune. I saw Dune. I liked it. I didn't think it was the greatest movie ever made, but I liked it. So
I would say this: it's the greatest adaptation of that book. That I really believe that. I saw it as well. I saw it in the theater. It's if you do not see this on HBO Max, seriously, you're doing yourself a disservice if you watch it on HBO
no,
Max.
I watched it on a small screen and it wasn't.
But
you can't tell.
I
Yeah.
think it's a different experience, especially the sound and whatnot. And I just being a fan of the books, it's the best adaptation of that book. But it is like, I think you said it earlier this week on one of your, maybe it was the Nooner, you were saying it'd be great if we knew that the next movie was coming, like with Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
You said. And because we don't know, and we don't know what the metrics are for success for there being a follow-up, it's like, this is just the beginning of the story. So it's like, this is like a preamble to what's going to be this epic tale that we hope they make it someday. But I do like that they took a lot of things from the books, like with hand signals and subtitles. Like I thought it was a great adaptation of the book. Now, is that going to appeal to normal people that have been used to, like, I don't know. I'm
That's a good question.
I
think that's a really good question. That's what I ponder in my review when you eventually see it. Is it's nerd level 12. It's turned up to 12. That's
sure.
If we want to equate nerds to I don't know. I have a bad analogy for, like, you equate nerds to radical Islam. If it'd be like, like a normal nerd is maybe Taliban, I would say, like a hardcore nerd is ISIS will be into Dune.
So like you guys are all suicide bombers.
Yeah.
I got the beard already.
I knew Chrissie was going to add something to that as soon as Gary started bringing that into it. I was like, Chrissie's got something for it.
That's what a good comedian does.
Yeah, you can't just bring up Muslims and expect Chrissie not to. Exactly.
One does not simply bring up Muslim extremists.
I said extremists. I didn't say all Muslims. Okay, come on, give me a break. They're all
so much hate. The one benefit Dune has
nice.
is the budget could have been a lot higher. I think it's only 165 million when it could easily have been over 200. So it only needs to make around 412 worldwide to break even. So it's doable. It's still going to be, again, as you said, if it's especially geared more towards a nerd audience, that's kind of limiting how many people can see it. Especially a longer film means less show times. But hey, it looks like there are some movies that are moving in that direction of being able to finally bring people back in. So maybe this could be one.
But I think Warner Brothers needs a new franchise, right? I mean, like as we've seen franchises just crash and burn, Dune could be a new franchise, right? Like they want to spin off this Bene Gesserit TV series. I mean, it is very. I'm just saying they want a new franchise. It's supposed to be 3 movies with spin-offs. We'll see. And ultimately, you know, I'm not a big Game of Thrones fan. I mean, whatever.
Nobody is after season 8.
Right. I'm just saying, like when I was watching Game of Thrones, I'm like, this is fucking Dune. It's great houses fighting. It's you know, worms, dragons. There's so many analogies. I don't know. So that may play into its appeal, but I'm just sort of clueless. I'm thinking I like this movie, but a lot of things I like are like not normal things that people would like. Like there's a movie coming out in a couple weeks. If I could throw out a recommend, you can look up the trailer for this. It's called The Spine of Night. It's an animated film that is like a heavy metal, brutally gory, full frontal nudity through the whole thing. Animated feature that you have to see. Comes out in a couple weeks. The only thing is Patton Oswalt does a voice, but he's in it for like 10 minutes.
Does he die?
Yes.
Okay, I'm all in then.
That's actually really fun. But spoiler for that. But it's such a good, when you see the animation style, look it up, The Spine of Night. Want to throw that out there. No one's ever going to hear of it because it's coming out on VOD and limited release and at film festivals. And those are like, that's the kind of shit that I like. But yeah, I want to throw that out as like, if you're miserable at all the crap that's been coming out lately, there are decent like indie things out there, and The Spine of Night just fucking blew my. I'm dying to see it again. So
when you said it's really gory and it has full frontal nudity, I'm afraid Grace Randolph won't be able to watch that. That's just out of the realm of possibilities for her.
What does she bring up in her Dune review? Of course, Oscar Isaac nude. She's like, "Oh, that's the reason." It's like, oh, it's like, oh my God, she is just a horny little woman. That's all she is, and good for her. You know, like, hey, we all like to get some, but man, she brings that up a lot.
Her hair always looks like she just got fucked, so maybe.
Yeah. Or she just has a really bad hairdresser. Oh my God. Have you seen
or
her
she doesn't comb her hair. I mean,
she just fucking lays down between every video. She just fucking lays down on the bed. Some shit. That's why it looks like that.
Or maybe she's just like trying to get a lot of balloons to stick to the walls, you know? That old trick.
When it comes to Dune, I almost think that even if it doesn't make anything at the box office, that almost doesn't matter for the future of it. I think that Warner Brothers, with what they decided to do to promote HBO Max and put everything in this dual release on HBO Max, I think they kind of accepted that they're going to take a lot of losses in terms of box office, specifically to boost HBO Max and help the share price and all that shit that they were trying to do. So even if this movie really bombs, I still think we're going to see another one. Unless something at Warner Brothers happens. Yeah. Like, unless something crazy happens.
They're making a lot from Max, so that could offset the loss that they might see.
Well, it looked expensive. It looked really pretty. And what they needed was something good. What they needed was something great, and they got something good. And they need some people talking about it like who they're talking about Squid Game right now. That's what they needed. That's what they wanted. That was their expectation. They want another Game of Thrones. They want a Lord of the Rings. And it's just... I don't think that's that. I could be wrong. And it's because I just don't think the normies are going to want to watch this over and over again. And I think having that, really abrupt ending, I mean, it basically ends where it starts. It's a prologue. It's a really well-made prologue. And it doesn't even give you time to like get into characters. You get into Paul, how do you say it? Muad'Dib, what the Messiah?
Muad'Dib.
Muad'Dib, like that. Yeah.
Paul Atreides.
Call him Paul Atreides.
Did they use the word? Did they use the word jihad in this movie at all?
Yeah, I think they did.
No, would they say crusade? Isn't it crusade?
Did they say crusade?
Yeah, they used jihad in the book. They didn't want to use jihad in the movie.
Yeah,
so they used the word crusade. And there's a little like these Paul's visions kind of show you what the next movie might be.
Why would you say crusade over jihad? Well,
because Christians aren't going to get mad.
Obviously, I know. That,
or they won't do anything about it.
But
what about a Muslim? What about a Muslim porn called Jihad for Teacher?
I actually think that there's like, I actually think the reason they use it might not have been to not piss off Muslims, but might be not piss off like fucking weird people that think, oh, you shouldn't be mentioning that in a, you know what I mean?
The media,
the
media would have gone
PC
after it for
police,
it.
the blue check marks, the same
Exactly.
reason why they don't want to call a Doctor Who Christmas special a Christmas special anymore. It's not because of the other religions that may be offended. It's the practitioners of the new religion that will get offended, the religion of the state and political correctness.
That was
Also,
the
at least
best,
it's not completely out of place for it either, because I'm actually listening to the audiobook for it right now and really enjoying it. And there's so many different references to different types of Bibles and stuff. So it actually does still, I think, fit within the universe to call it that.
Well, what I thought was really amazing about it was it just didn't look like any other genre thing that we've seen. There's a sameness to stuff. Like I've seen teasers for Foundation and so many, Expanse, and there's a sameness to the effects. It's like they use the same effects supervisors teams. Dune looked very different in its design.
You're right, dude.
That was now, Gary. Do you think that ending? There's like this fight at the end, and I'm going like, what are some journalists going to read into this? You know what I'm talking about? Remember what I'm talking about, Gary?
They are absolutely going to read into it what they want to, and they're already calling it like a white savior. And
of course,
I haven't read the books. I've watched.
Ryan will be there
TV
day one.
Series.
That's all you need to say. Look at my haircut. Of course I'm in.
Yeah. I mean, like for one, even if it was, who gives a fuck? That's what I say. We can have black saviors and white saviors. I don't care, but it's not. If you know anything about the plot, it's not.
Yeah.
So. But they're going to read what they want to at the end. But you already see some critics struggling with it. It's been out for a month around the world already, and you see some critics have already said, fucking Grace Randolph said white savior. She in her review. So and it's like, and she knows about the story.
Yeah, Paul Atreides is no one's savior. I don't think.
No, he's a model. He's a male model. I know Paul is supposed to be small and scrawny, and he's very well cast. Then he's very small and scrawny and
better than the original as far as
it's a complaint to have a white savior, but if it was a black savior or a brown savior or an Asian savior, it'd be fine because this whole world's just a big hypocritical piece of fucking activistic shit. Review a fucking movie. Keep your politics on the other fucking side of the equation and shut your fucking cow mouth, you dumb fucks.
But that's
I'm just fucking tired of this. Activism. Shut your cunt mouth. It's a movie. Fucking review the movie. If you don't want to talk about the movie, if you want to talk about politics, open up a fucking website, open up a fucking YouTube channel, open up a Twitter account, a fucking Mr. Byright account, a fucking Miss Selfridge account. I don't fucking care. And talk about politics to you blue in the fucking face. But if you're here to service the customer in trying to make them go and see a film, we don't give a shit about your politics. We don't give a shit about them. And to try and instigate and trying to insert them into every single fucking facet of movies nowadays, you are just turning people off constantly. We want escapism. We want enjoyment. That's why Squid Game's been so popular, because it's done by a fucking other country, the other side of the planet, which is, it's got its social messaging. It's got its messaging about capitalism. It's got its messaging about society and morality. And it's got lots of different social messagings, which are very different from social justice, by the way. And they've done it in an exciting, interesting manner,
in
where we
entertaining
can watch
fashion.
a show and be fully entertained, not have some fucking frizzy-haired, platinum blonde dumb fuck who gets thirsty for seeing a cock every fucking 2 seconds talking about fucking activism, or fucking Polygon talking about white saviors, or fucking Maori goddamn fucking hobbits. Shut the fuck up. Wait for the movie, review it based on you being a critic of a movie, and get on with fucking life. I am tired of this.
Christian Bale is displaying what could be called as white rage.
I call that Christian Bale rage right there, man. That was Christian Bale.
Good for you. What was that?
That's it. I'm done for the show now. I'll see you later. Bye.
Download an app of Az on my phone. So just every time I need a little inspiration, just click the app.
There you go.
But here's what's funny. No one's talking about in Squid Game the lack of diversity. right?
No.
Like
I complained about it today on Twitter.
And it's
Yeah, that was
I
funny.
actually
South
appalled
Koreans
by the
and a
lack of
fucking
diversity.
Pakistani guy. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You realize if we made that and it was basically just like, oh wow, white directors make fucking movie where Asian people get fucking killed in horrific ways.
Yeah.
Right? That's like the way it would be spun.
Yep.
Stop Asian hate, everyone.
No,
Well, watching that made me ask for some suggestions, and some people say, hey, go and watch Alice in Borderland. It's something of a similar kind of genre, and you might find it interesting. So I went off and I watched Alice in Borderland, which is now due a second season in a couple of months' time. That was a Japanese TV series where something happens and some people get transported somewhere and some fucked up games happen, but it's completely different to Squid Game, and it's highly interesting, and it was fun. And I was like, great, here's another show I've just watched in a contemporary time where I've actually had enjoyment. South fucking Korea and Japan.
That's where it's at, man.
Because there's no point going to the West for it, because it isn't there. Before James Bond came out, all we were talking about was Lasagna fucking Lynch's skin color. We were talking about fucking, when it came out, Q fucking loving the cock. We were talking about James Bond fucking being an ally to women and all this goddamn shite. And it's a fucking guy who should be fucking killing people without remorse, doing what's right for Queen and country, crushing fucking pussy, and doing it with a smile and a fucking drink in his hand, and we're cheering him on. But no, we're in the fucking Me Too movement, so we can't even have our entertainment anymore.
Yes. And what are we talking about leading up to Lord of the Rings now? Just because of one little fucking, I guess a meme or whatever the fuck GameSpot put up. We're talking about grounding in reality a world that is a fantasy that was made up and not supposed to be this world. And they're trying to make it multicultural. It already is. And back to Squid Game real quick. I said this in the pre-production meeting. Yes, there is an anti-capitalist message in it. It's not very subtle. Sometimes it's a little heavy-handed, but for the most part, is a very entertaining show. So there is a way you can get your messaging in and still not offend your viewer or piss off your viewer, even if they have a different political opinion. And the way they did it was kind of elegant at the end, but it's also proof that Squid Game proves that capitalism is the best system. It's a system that you can criticize. And that's the great thing. We still live in a world where a writer, male or female, could write their script, sell it to a private company for profit, a private billion-dollar company, and it becomes the biggest hit. And it is questioning its own government or its own current system. It sucks when we get into an age, and we're well on our way there, where the new religion, where the state becomes God and heretics don't live very long in a system where the state becomes God. So I congratulate Squid Game on proving why capitalism is
also
best.
when North Korea goes after it. Hey, you know what? Probably is a good show. Just gonna be honest.
It's not just as simple as going after capitalism, because you have to look at the people in the show, and the people in the show, all of them are flawed.
Yes.
You know, this isn't I'm a victim of the state and I got no money because this is a degenerate gambler. This is a degenerate gambler that, he does have a spark of morality, but he uses the money that he gets, and instead of paying off his debts, instead of trying to build a relationship with his daughter, he's spending more time in a bookies, or whatever you call them in America. I don't know. But he's spending more time in a bookies, putting his money on horse racing and losing it. And it's only because he's now got himself to such a degree. And I can relate to somebody who's had gambling problems in the past. You know, I can relate to this, and it makes me sick to my stomach. But he's got himself into such a tiz now that he owes this, that, and the other. His daughter's going to be going off to America to start a new life with her family within the next year or so. He's got nothing. He's got absolutely nowhere to turn. So that is his motivation to do so. His brother-in-law, whatever you want to call it, his friend, is stock market. He's been gambling on futures, and he's losing it all.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's his own fault again. So this isn't a simple matter of capitalism wrong. This is a matter of people who are within the system
making poor choices.
Making
all of them
poor
are flawed.
choices, causing issues for themselves. Whereas we see people like the new husband of his ex-wife who's looking after the child, and he's got a settled home, money. He's going to move to New York, America, because he's built, being promoted up. And this is somebody that's working within a system and succeeding. So we get to see success and failure. But then when we get into the actual game itself, then we get into much more of a morality tale. What morally will you do? Because a lot of them go in with quite high morals, helping out people, wanting to stick together. And then suddenly you start to see the morality crumble once the stakes get higher and higher and you understand what is available. And you saw that after the first game, everyone wanted to leave. And then as soon as the guy pressed the button and filled up the piggyback with the money, then it was suddenly like, we need to vote on this. Yeah. And it was fantastic, because that was the driving force and the driving nature. And you suddenly got more of a primal instinct start to emerge within these
their greed starts taking over.
Your greed takes over, your envy takes over, your survival of the fittest takes over. There's a lot of like primal instincts which begin to emerge, and that's what makes Squid Game so clever, because it has so many different issues, different levels of morality or messaging that you can pick and choose. And the beauty, of course, is if this was a Western one, it'd tell you what is good and bad. This doesn't.
No.
This doesn't at all. This is just like, hey, this is the situation. How do you feel about it?
The Squid Game for like in America, if that was shot in America, it would just be like red light, green light, except it just shoots all the white people, regardless of whether they're or not.
Absolutely.
Well,
but
what it would be is that the people running the game would be white, and the participants would be minorities. That's how they would do it.
And they would and they would put so much emphasis on that. But like they even tie back to these flawed characters where they tie back their family dynamic to make you still sympathetic for them. You know what I mean? So even when you're like, this guy's a piece of shit, but like then they tie back the family, so then you're struggling like, I kind of do still care about this person, even though he's been proven to be a piece of shit, but then they put him in these terrible predicaments and make him do terrible things. But then it still makes you realize that they're terrible things they're doing. Look at the current situation they're in and look at what the risk versus reward would be. It's a brilliant series.
The best thing about Squid Game and what's happening is you can leave.
Yeah.
If the majority vote to finish, it will finish. You won't get any money. The victims, the families will get an even split of the money, but you can walk away with your life. You can walk away from it. And that is the thing. This is not you're trapped. You can't get away. And we see the democratic process in the second episode. And the democratic process says, we're done. And so what do? Do they say, ha, no, you're here? No, they go, okay.
No, they let them go.
Right, but even you back. And they take them all fucking back to their lives.
Yeah.
And once you finish the series and you have the whole story, I've gone back and I've started to rewatch it now, because you can see things from a completely different context with different people now. Yeah. And it's so fascinating, some of the conversations, because of what is revealed later on, which makes a second viewing of the show even more interesting, I feel, than a first viewing of the show.
You're like,
well, I mean, even like the lead man.
Pee his pants or not? You're like, did he pee his pants, or he just
you ain't cool unless you pee your pants.
Sat in some water.
I must be Miles Davis.
But even like the lead man, like there's a point in the show where there's some cheating going on, and he gets very upset because you're compromising, the integrity of the game, and you're like, what? But it actually makes sense because everybody's equal there. You want equality, and then they even talk about, hey, guess what? Women and men are different. Oh my God.
Yeah, they showed that very prevalent in episode 4.
So,
yeah.
But they go into how you would go about challenging it, and it's not because there are no differences. It's no different strategies, right? So it goes into, again, very grounded reality, and what all y'all were talking about. This is what happens when you actually have character development. Who would have thought that when you have well-developed characters with great arcs, several of them, by the way, all intertwined with each other, that it would create a good show? Who would have thought?
Yeah, I went from really hating the crazy woman. I'd be like, oh, you're making us crazy bitches look so bad. And then, are we spoiling? Is that what we're doing? Are we making spoils?
Yeah. I mean, like,
Okay.
we're going to spoil, like, I wouldn't, like, spoil the end. I would stay away from the surprise ending until later, and then we'll
how the crazy lady in the end actually, like, her crazy woman powers are used for good.
Mm-hmm.
And it was almost like selfless,
Yeah.
She went from a very selfish person to like doing a very selfless act in the end.
Yeah, it's called character development.
Yep.
It's amazing.
I haven't heard anyone say they didn't like this show that's watched it.
I heard there were no white people in it, so I passed.
Yeah.
The only complaint I've heard,
there's a couple of white people in it.
There are some people can't get past the seeming anti-capitalist messaging, and they can't get past that. And for me, it's like, if that's all that you're getting from the show, I think you're missing a lot. Like, there's just so many more layers to the story that are well worth the time for most people.
Yeah, I think that's the obvious one that it's putting out there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I know it's a bit of a cliche. Now, this is an onion. This has got layers.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your anti-capitalist, or you have your poverty. You have certainly your fiscal messaging as the top one. But you start to peel that away, and you suddenly realize there is so much underneath that. And I watched the Drinker's review of it, and unlike the Drinker, I actually really enjoyed the Korean policeman story arc within that, because I thought he very cleverly negotiated himself throughout the whole system, learning how the soldiers operate, learning about the different masks, how he can move between two different roles.
The Morse code,
the Morse code. I actually promise you, when the guy started coughing on the first night, I was like, I bet that's Morse code. I bet that's Morse code. And then on the second time he did it, and he suddenly went, wait, is that Morse code? And of course he was calling out the guy next to him so they could go and do the organ stuff. But I thought his storyline was very, very good, because of the way this isn't a guy, because this policeman isn't going to bust the operation. This policeman is here to find his brother. So it's more of a personal level. So although he has the morality of the policeman and he operates as a policeman within that system, his ultimate goal is to find out what happened to his brother. And then I won't obviously say the reveal of it, but once he starts to find out what's happened to his brother and what's become of it, his storyline is just so much more poignant at the end of the show about the reveals which happen there. And then, of course, once we get the ultimate reveal at the end, like I said, you go back and you start listening to other people's interactions, and you start listening to very specific things that people say, and suddenly you're just like, oh my God, this was obvious. There were so many obvious little hints about what was really happening and whatnot, that it was just like, but it's so clever. And then you understand why we got the ending of episode 6. And episode 6, I cried like a fucking baby. I ain't cried at a TV show in God knows how many years, but the whole episode of episode 6, where it was just this
was that the Marbles
of morality.
episode?
Yeah, the Marbles episode was just the absolute crumbling of morality all around the place. And seeing people fall for it, and then seeing somebody want to fall for it, and then seeing somebody else saying it's okay. No, I know what's been going on the whole time, but it's okay. It's okay. And I was just like, by the end of that,
and the motivation,
so good.
The motivation behind playing poorly.
Yes.
Well, I'm calling bullshit on that one, telling me that you ain't cried in a TV show in a long. You watch Batwoman every week. I know you're crying every fucking week.
Yeah, come on.
Batwoman.
That's for different reasons, though, Jeremy.
Come on now.
That's a loss of soul that I'm crying at.
Odin. I mean I think you're right. With the anti-capitalist messaging doesn't really get heavy-handed till the last episode, and we won't get into the details now. There's a couple of things that are just cringe, but it doesn't take away my enjoyment of the show. And I mean, people can imprint whatever they want on something. That's what a story is for. You know, that's even what Tolkien asked people to do. You know, you just figure it out for yourself. Fuck allegory, you know. And sometimes a story can rise above even what its initial messaging is. And even the creator himself, I believe it's him, himself said, yeah, it was a supposed to be a modern fable of modern capitalism, also of life, of just life. Of how competitive life is. You know, if there wasn't a system, that's basically what we'd be in the big meat grinder still. You know, it would just be nature getting us, and we'd be competing for you know, food if we were still hunter gatherers and stuff. So that part is fun. I mean, it was just, you know, there's a couple things I went, but I was fine. I love the aesthetic of it, and absolutely, I prefer subs over dubs. I couldn't watch it with the dubs, so I went back and started watching it with the subs, and it was way better.
Because the acting is so good, and to hear their actual the actual voices, I think adds just a whole nother level to it. And so just all of those just objective aspects of the acting, the production design of all the sets, just phenomenal. And then whoever did the cinematography for it, I mean, dear Lord, some of those shots are just freaking gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous.
It's like they were in a little dollhouse sometimes.
Yeah. With the colors and everything. Absolutely.
And like the baseline message is like, it's cutthroat in the real world. Well, it's cutthroat in here too. It's like, but we're literally cutting your throat.
Episode 1 is just majestic in its horror. It's absolutely phenomenal. And I believe it's such a clever reaction, because I think that is pretty much a reaction that would happen. That just absolute panic from the majority of the people. And then when it flicks to the control room, and of course, because everyone's on the ground on the control room, like, and all you hear is as everyone's just getting fucking wiped out. And it's just like, wow.
That scene was brutal too, because, you know, how do you override human nature at that point? A panic. And
it's fight or flight.
Exactly.
And that's why we get to again with this is why we have another one of those primal instincts. It's fight or flight. And a lot of the games resort to primal instinct.
Oh yeah, especially in episode 4, where you have the whole thing that happens at the bunkhouse, and that is just insane, and it's such an amazing scene.
Well, the walkway that devolves into a fight or flight, because the guy when he gets to the front just turns around and says, "Come on."
Yep.
Come on, I'm going to use you to move onwards. And then because he was like the big guy that nobody could, you know, he was the strongest. The way that was dealt with was very clever indeed. But yeah, that primal instinct to run, and oh boy, that I've seen that scene. I don't know how many times now, because it is just, I think it's going to be revered as one of cinematically the, you know, greatest scenes we've seen for a long time.
What were we talking about earlier? As like, there should not be a second season to this.
No,
like, they should just let it go. Let it be.
And I'm mixed.
What about if he dyes his hair back?
Ooh. No. I think there's Az and I spoke briefly about this before the show, and I just don't. Wherever you go, I don't think you could match, even get close to what you did in the season 1. Westworld probably should have ended after season 1. Stranger Things probably should have just ended with 1 season. And you know, we don't need to see the rest. I think our imagination can do a much better job than what I'm sure there'll be a second season. This is the freaking biggest thing there is since Tiger King, or what? This is their biggest series since Stranger Things.
Well, I was going to ask you guys
that
it
broke records of Stranger Things. Even. They said it's the biggest show ever.
This is the biggest show ever on Netflix by an absolute mile.
At least the biggest, like, first 7 days or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. Because I was going to say, I saw one headline say it was a modest hit. I'm like, wait a minute, everybody's talking about this.
11 million views in a day or something like that.
I was like, what?
It's up to like 115 million viewed now.
Yeah.
According to Netflix. So I mean,
so
whatever.
take that number with a grain of salt. And
well, I don't know. I mean, you just look at the buzz around the place, though. Everyone's talking about Squid Game.
Oh, I do. I think it also exposes like what the numbers for the rest of their stuff are, which it would shock you how low they are. Like I was snuck some numbers for a short trek, right? For a Star Trek short trek, and it was like 20,000 views. like 20,000
Wow.
people watched a short trek. So they put like millions of dollars to get something that Jeremy can record himself farting on his chair for 5 minutes and get more views.
Wow.
If someone could fart for
Or
5 minutes,
as-
is great. That
or
would get
anybody
millions
here.
of views.
Yeah.
I would only be okay with the second season if everyone on the creative team was the exact same and they had a clear vision. If none of those were there, then obviously I'm still
I mean, they would have to do with The Empire Strikes Back again. Like it would have to be. It would. There's a story there. I just.
It wouldn't be the same. It would be very different. It would not be the same. Trope.
Recreate the shock of
no.
Well, it's like Battle Royale 2 is nothing like. It's nowhere even close to as good as Battle Royale 1. You can't get that emotion back. You can't get that shock factor back.
Yeah.
Just making things bigger and more scary doesn't
translate always.
The thing that got you on. No, because Squid Game was about the shock factor and it's about its morality. That's what it was. Its core essence was. Its core essence wasn't gore, wasn't violence, wasn't death. It was the humanity. It's actually the humanity, the humanistic elements to it. And
those
so
characters.
Another island with another game. It's you're not gonna get the same response at all.
No, they had a great cast who portrayed their characters extremely well that you could invest in, even if you're reading their lines. That's how good it was. And yeah, you have to hear their real dialect. It just there's no even. I was telling Az when they went to English. Right at that one part, I won't say what it is, but they went to English in one part, and it wasn't very good. It was like the English was poorly acted, and it's like they got an Australian to do an American accent, but it's much better when they jump back to the South Koreans. And again, I'm just appalled at the lack of diversity in this fucking show. That's the biggest problem I had. Absolutely biggest problem I had.
I would love to see its sequel in like a different country. You know, like how does a different country do this?
What if it's America? Definitely more diversity.
Well, that was part of the messaging, though.
The 90-pound woman will be kicking in the 300-pound dude.
This is true, but we don't know if it'll be it'll be somebody who calls themselves a woman.
Well, you set it on a college campus. I think that would be a great setting for Squid Game 2. A college campus in America. That would be
imagine just like a tug of war with all trans women, and they're like,
Chris.
And then all the biological women on the other side are doing the strategy. And
this is not fair. You're a bigot. I'm dying.
Woke Hollywood and woke universities are hilarious. They are ripe for being just picked with comedy gold and satire and parody, and nobody's touching it. I mean, I said this 2 years ago. We need like the woke Blazing Saddles. We need somebody to make a movie that mocks all this shit for 2 hours. That hard. That would be. It would be a nice breath of fresh air and we can laugh, but unfortunately the woke side can't laugh at themselves or laugh at all.
They can't. It's just the worst. And as mentioned earlier, critics, I've seen the sort of landscape of critics change to being very driven by agenda. We've seen it play out in every Rotten Tomatoes. When you see that huge divide, I'm generally always on the side of the audience. The audience, like when it comes to whether it's the Chappelle show or whatever, it's like the audience just seems to have a better sense and I trust them more. But critics they've written the review in their head before they've seen the movie or the show. It's so I see
prime example is Ghostbusters,
or it's like
what they're doing to that.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's like the identity of the director. So it's like, well, I can't criticize a director because it's a woman director, right? And I'm serious. I think that's an insult to I mean, I don't know what are we calling women now? They don't have what is the
person
bodies with vaginas?
Bodies with a vagina, yes.
I usually say bitch.
That's why they that's why there was such a hard time, and maybe that's what you're talking about, criticizing Cuties. Because it was directed by a female of color. So they were like,
there's no problems when that comes to Letitia Wright for some reason.
But it's weird. The double standards that play out, I do not get it. And it's an insult to female filmmakers who they never identified as that, right? They never thought of themselves. I always think of like, well, what's the position? The position is director. If you're director, it shouldn't matter your ethnicity or gender or whatever. It should make no difference. You should go in blind, not knowing, right? But critics are not doing that. And I see it more and more, like, and you see like with that divide, right? Like as you brought it up before your amazing rant earlier, but like, yeah, I don't understand why that mindset has gone away. And it's like, you especially see it in film Twitter, which I'm proudly not a part of. I mean, they probably fucking hate me. I don't care. But a buddy of mine and I, Eric Weber, started a thing called Movie Twitter. We want to see if we can get that going, which is like more common sense thoughts about movies.
Right.
We're going to start tweeting under that hashtag of Movie Twitter, just to kind of separate from the crazy that is film Twitter, where I see, that kind of madness. It's bizarre. So.
No, yeah, well, you said film Twitter probably hates you. Well, you're on Friday Night Tights. They definitely.
Oh, okay, good.
If there was any question, they definitely do now.
I'm used to it, so I don't give a fuck.
We're seeing it with the Ghostbuster reviews. Each and every one of them starts out as, like you won, insufferable incels. You got your way.
Yes.
And it's like,
yes.
And it's like, and then they finish up with like, all this movie is just nothing but fan service. It's like, thank you.
Hey, can I do a TikTok? I'll do like one TikTok video. I'll sign up for an account because they're, like, doesn't everybody on TikTok just
applauds your?
Thank you very much. Because everybody goes on TikTok to talk about like their new made up gender or sexual preference or whatever. Can I have one that's like, I identify as an incel, but I still have sex just with one woman?
No, absolutely.
I need to make up
now. Yeah.
I'm on TikTok to complain about things.
You're only having
an incel, a sexual, or something like that.
You could be a demi incel.
You don't have a couple boyfriends, then I think that's probably close enough to incel.
Okay.
Gary, all you need to do is be like this and then like point to words.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
That's true.
Who's the guy who doesn't have sex, but he always talks about how he likes sexual things, but he doesn't have sex, and it's what?
Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Canal.
Ryan Canal. Yeah, that's
what was it?
Broader question: why would you say that? Why would you tell someone that and say that out loud publicly? You're a
forgot what it was.
moron if you do that.
It was he's a moron sexual. That's what he is. But but he talks about like, well, we like sexual things, but we don't have sex. Now, like, exactly. Why are you talking about
You
it?
just have mommy issues.
Who is this person?
Trust
What are you
issues.
talking about?
If I'm non-binary, why do I tell? Like, I'm not anything. So why tell me?
Is this like a well-known person? I
You
don't
have
know
to
who this
affirm
is.
my existence, Gary. You have to affirm that what I feel is real.
Validation.
Yeah. Well, that's what yeah.
That's to me. I've always thought that point of view is so weak-minded because if you need validation from someone else, you have no power.
Yeah, validate yourself. Why do I need to validate you?
And you have no moral constitution. You have no sense of self. I feel this is a horribly lost generation, and it makes me sad. Right? It makes me sad. Libs of TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but I will watch the
Libs
Libs
on Twitter. Yeah,
it's a genius Twitter account, and that's why I see these videos and I think, holy shit, this mental illness is rampant, and it's horrifying that kids are growing up like this. I mean, I don't know. It's all
bring back bullying. Bring back the rod. Because I tell you what,
I agree.
Back in my day,
wants to give
if I
kids the
said
rod.
anything like that, I'd have the shit kicked out of me. You'd have the living stupidity kicked out of you. Or if you went home and, hey mum, I want to be a quaddy bi femi ficky sexual, should go, okay, just nip up to my room, get my belt, bring it back down. I'm gonna fucking whip the shit out of you.
Rod versus baby.
Beat the stupid out of them.
Yeah, it's because I think it's because we have had such a great run of life recently. We have been so tolerant as a society. We have organically just become more tolerant of people, races, genders, sexualities as a whole. That once the people who were oppressed suddenly got the equality which they desired, realized actually I don't want this equality business because I want to be treated the same. I need to be a snowflake. I need to be treated differently. I need to be above this. I need my snowflake status back. I need that elevation above others back. And so we're getting all these 50, 70, 80, 90 different fucking genders coming around, people sticking all kinds of shit in the face to make themselves look as daft as possible. So they try and get attention. This is why we have, I have, and I'll say this, and I don't give a fuck. You can call me transphobe, whatever. I have every sympathy under the sun for people who are legitimately trans, and I mean somebody who legitimately believes that they are stuck in the wrong body. But I think this whole social media trans is a fucking joke. Is a bunch of fakers. I think there's a lot of fucking frauds out there as well that are using this. So they can get themselves a shield to hide behind.
Well, I think it's also
it's not building any sort of equality or representation. It's building nothing but resentment, and it will continue to do so.
I think it's definitely a byproduct of everybody gets a trophy generation. It's like, that's the whole snowflake thing. It's taking the I'm special to a next level.
Compete.
Well, I think the deal should be like you can transition, but you can't post any of it on social media and see how many people would still go through it.
Well, that's just it. A lot of people are doing it for the attention. You're right.
Like that.
But the reason so many people there's so much attention to this type of mindset is because people like us are not attractive to the powers that be. People that think for themselves, that want to create their own life and their own opportunities. The people that are attracted to the powers that be are the weak-minded that need social acceptance, that need the government to do something for them, to give them money, to give them handouts.
Tell me what to do, Daddy. Tell me what to do, Daddy.
So that's what's powerful.
Lead me, Daddy. Lead me, Daddy.
Exactly. And then this guy right here is a fucking freak. Holy fuck. I've seen these videos. This motherfucker
it's an ego.
It's fucking freak.
It's an eggosexual, but I want to be an eggosexual where we have like sex.
Lego my sexuality.
Before you hear this guy talk, like there are things that I believe this man is guilty of that I cannot say on YouTube. Holy fuck, this dude is fucking
that little
creepy.
Yeah, this is
he looks like he knows his way around a set of monkey bars.
God, I missed my soundboard. All right, here we go.
So let's talk about.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Chrissie broke me on that.
There's 3 hair colors going on here.
All right.
About Eggosexuality. So Eggosexuality is an identity on the asexual spectrum. It's one of the micro labels, and it describes people.
He tried this a few weeks ago. Clearly, it didn't work.
With sexual things, like they may experience sexual fantasies, or they may be comfortable watching sexual content, reading erotic stories, or watching erotic movies, but they don't want to participate in sexual activity. So an egosexual person might have sexual fantasies, but they won't be part of that fantasy.
Last time I checked, that was
or maybe they really enjoy porn, but are not willing to have sex. So for egosexual folks, there's a disconnect between themselves and objects of sexual attraction. That's it. The A spectrum is the coolest spectrum.
So,
okay, buddy, if you say so.
So he's agoraphobic. To me is what it more sounds like.
This person is just describing this. He's not saying that he's that. Is that what's going on? He's just describing different things.
That's not me.
No, he's making up words and then talking about them.
He sounded like he knew an awful lot about it for something he's not like really into.
He said it's the coolest. He said it's the coolest. So
some people can't go near schools. Not me, but some people.
Also, as Dave Chappelle said, people will make up words to win an argument.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
This is just one of the micro. What did he say? It's one of the micro fucking.
He didn't say aggression.
Micro levels.
Micro levels of identity. So it's like we have these
asexuality.
65 different genders or ways to think about sexuality, and then this is a micro level of that.
So asexuality is one, and then this is a micro.
There's definitely something micro involved. I believe it's his penis.
Probably. Yeah.
But this is to Az's point about bullying. Like, bullying is an important part of developing as a normal human being in society, because whether the person that's bullying you is something that later in life maybe you feel is like a valid reason that they came after you, like a valid form of criticism, it makes you confront a very aggressive, different opinion than yours, and it makes you evaluate yourself as a person and what you're doing. Now, whether that, like in the end, you decided maybe that I was doing the right thing, or maybe you're like, yeah, that was really fucking dumb of me. I was an idiot. I would have bullied me too. It makes you go through that and come to the realization that you need to identify what's going on with you. And regardless of what anybody else says, that can't affect actual truth.
Not only that, though, it shows you that life isn't fair and that you're going to encounter challenges in life that you need to figure out how to overcome.
I think there's a little conflation there, and I don't mean you're doing it on purpose, Ryan, but I think there should be a differentiation made between, friends giving each other shit, constructive criticism, and actual bullying. Right? I think there's three.
I think that bullying is a fucking good thing.
I agree with Ryan.
Bullying. Not me giving Jeremy shit. I think that interacting with
Ryan,
somebody.
You're muted, or Chris, you're muted.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think to a degree for sure, but I think I do believe that a little bit of bullying is good. It makes you stronger. I'm sorry, it just does.
It's not.
I agree.
Shit, and you got to up your game. You got to get past it. And you build up a protective shield so that shit doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
The reason all these people freak out is because they've never encountered any form of bullying, right? Through growing up.
Any kind of resistance, really, is what it is.
Well, but I'm saying, like, within context, if they're like, I'm not saying that you should just have the living shit beat out of you.
Yeah,
like
that's
no,
what I mean. There should be
but I'm saying like
we've
all nothing on the face.
Yeah, we've all been in that situation. I've been, I moved through different schools a lot when I was younger. And every time you go into a new school, it's a very intimidating situation because there's always, different people in different places. And yeah, I've been bullied. I've been the bully, and it's part of it. Like it's part of it, and it helps define you. That doesn't mean that there's a cut and dry thing like, oh, well, everyone should go through it. But just generally speaking, it helps mold people and it helps build people, because guess what? The real world is not fair and it's not forgiving. It's a cutthroat environment. And when you have to go and get a job and perform and pay your bills and deal with everyday stresses, getting bullied in life at a young age actually helped that. Again, to be clear, because I know this shit's going to get clipped, no one is saying that people need to have their ass beat or anything like that. We're talking about being ribbed a little bit in intimidating situations. Nothing of like physical violence or anything like that.
We're not just
bullying,
talking about the 0.1%
bullying
of
gives you
bullying.
bullying gives you a chance to stand up for yourself, and there's a difference between bullying and violence. Like, it's easy to say, oh, everyone should be bullied, I support it. Like, but if your kid comes home like bleeding with teeth
black and blue,
missing,
that's
you're
different.
gonna be pissed. You're gonna be like, oh, who
absolutely.
Do I have to,
That's not the bullying anyone's talking about.
Yeah.
To me,
I've had my ass beat before by a group of people. That's not bullying. That's having your ass beat.
You're getting jumped at that point.
Yes. Bullying is not being jumped or having your ass beat or being physically assaulted. It's a whole different level. But the weirdos on Twitter are going to sit there and claim that bullying is getting your ass beat. That's not what bullying is. And it's clear that you've never
that's
been
the
bullied.
point I was making initially.
Fucking Twitter are more interested in fucking Lasagna Lynch's fucking hair color than they are about anything else. They mean nothing. These people are fucking silver spoony anyway. You got Kotaku journalists who complain. What's they get? $50,000 a year base. You get a job worth $50,000 and all you want to do is fucking complain and moan and whinge about it. Do you know how somebody who really wants to get into journalism, somebody who really wants to get into games journalism would fucking do to get that job? They don't even know they're fucking born, these fucking people. So if someone goes, oh, did you see them having a go saying these people should be bullied? Yeah. Probably somebody like you should have been fucking bullied. Somebody like you should have been fucking shouted at, told to shut the fuck up, instead of being in this now fucking school system that's been developed where everyone's just like, no, everyone be nice to each other. You get a silver spoon, you get a silver spoon, you get a silver spoon, and all go home to mummy as some fucking trumped up little fuck who didn't earn shit but got themselves a prize saying you're the best. You're not. And that's why they're being exposed in their jobs now. That's why these activists who are in their fucking journalistic roles on their websites and on their movie blog sites, that's why they can't get anywhere. That's why these people have recently been having a go at us can't get any fucking traction on the channel and have to leech onto us like fucking barnacles because they have no fucking genuine talent. They've been fucking. They've had a lucky break somewhere, or they've got themselves into a position of power, which allows them to have an audience to relate to. But look how big IGN and Kotaku and Polygon. Look how massive they used to be, and look at them now in the fucking shitter because people have fucking gone and they're here. They're here now on YouTube, and they're coming to your Chris Gores and your Ryan Cannells and your Tom Midnight Edges and your Odins and your comics and your nerds and your Jeremys and your Chrissies. They're coming to these people because, like, you know what? These people are fucking real. These people are fucking real, you know? And I might agree with them. I might disagree with them. But I know at least what they're saying. They're not trying to fucking send me down some alleyway somewhere. They're not trying to give me some fucking cockamamie bull story. At least they're going to tell me what they actually genuinely think. And that's why new media like YouTube has exploded. And that's why new media like shows like this and Critical Drinker and people like that have just absolutely gone out on one, because nobody, I don't think, at the moment can critique a film or a TV series like Drinker can. He's the modern day Barry Norman. He's the modern day whatever an American fucking weirdo is. That he's a modern day person that you could go, no, I've got a Drinker because I think he speaks sense. He can truly break down a TV show or a movie.
How many people here on this panel have been bullied?
Does your dad count?
Well, and that's the whole
everybody has been bullied. All right. And it depends on Tom, but it depends on your severity, right? And okay, now I'm going to ask anybody in this panel, how much do you think about how much you were bullied? Raise your hand if it's a lot.
Literally never.
Virtually never.
Well,
we've gotten over it.
Not at this point in my life, but during the time in which it was happening, I did a lot.
Of course, aside from extreme circumstances, and, you know, I've got kids. If they came home, I would have told my kid, because this is one thing I learned from my dad. I would have told them the same fucking thing my dad told me. Deal with it. You have to deal with it. This is on you. And if they go too far, you can, he said, smack them in the face. Just fucking punch them. And my mom was horrified. And my dad had to visit me in the principal's office because that's how I dealt with it. My mom got pissed, but it got dealt with. I just fucking smacked that guy. And it was just because he was giving, you know, it was like constant. It was like mispronouncing my last name or something like that. And I got tired of it. So I just fucking punched him. So what? That's not how you deal with it every single time. It depends on the individual circumstance, but it helps because it helps you get ready for the bullying you're going to have to deal with in life every day at your job. There are going to be people who don't fucking like you, who it's supposed to teach you how to compete against somebody who wants something you want when you're in competition for it, no matter what fucking system you're in, by the way. So it's absolutely necessary. Of course, we're not talking about extreme circumstances. Okay. We're not talking about like somebody getting the shit beat out of them every freaking day. They're coming home bloody and their parents
someone getting bullied to the point of suicide. Like,
you're also not going to stop it.
Which can be psychological too. It doesn't always have to be the very visible kind either. Because
we can hope and pray that bullying goes away. It will never go away because kids will always be raised in like an unhealthy environment where they can't express themselves. Kids will always have insecurities. There will always be bullying, so you might as well stand.
I think that's
yourself.
The nuance for this is that bullying itself is not a good thing. I'm sorry, treating someone else like trash is not a good thing. Treating another person as if they're subhuman in some way or not a real person, that is not a good thing. Well, so I just had to get this out here because bullying itself is not a good thing. However, at the same time, if
the person who gets over bullying doesn't pass it on. That's the thing.
But what I'm trying to say is for the ones that do, not everyone does. Like we can't just treat this like as a blanket statement with this. So I agree with the sentiment of how we can't stop it. That is true, right? You can do as much as you want to try and stop bullying, and it's still going to be there, right? It's still going to be there. But to say that bullying is intrinsically good is just not true. Because yes, are there a lot of people that because of themselves being bullied can grow and you know get stronger in life? Absolutely. But then you also have the cases of kids getting bullied who go in the opposite direction, who it has an incredibly negative impact for the rest of their life. So I would say saying bullying itself is good is not true.
It was good
I would
for
say
Ryan.
that you can grow from it.
For Ryan.
Here's what I think.
bully Odin.
Here's what
No,
I
I'm
think.
kidding.
Listen to this. I think about it like chicken pox. Is getting chicken pox a kid inherently a good thing? No, it fucking sucks. However, if you were to get chicken pox much later in life and your body didn't understand how to deal with it, it could be very bad for you, right? It could be much worse if at an older age you're not prepared to deal with that in your body. That's the same way I feel about bullying. So no, inherently the act of someone doing that to someone else, that's not a good act. But in general, the fact that people encounter those things makes them stronger. And I think it's, I don't think that anybody that is like, anybody that like, yeah, of course, some cases. We're not talking about outliers. I'm talking about in general, 99.9% of the time, which is how we treat everything.
So Twitter, is Twitter like Epstein Barr, and then like childhood bullying is chickenpox?
Yeah.
It's really about hearing the word no. That's what it's about. It's about hearing the word no, not getting what you always want, and actually having some legitimate adversity to try and rise up to. But when you're always getting a participation award, when you're always been told it doesn't matter, you can do this, you can do that, you can do the other. No, you can't. That's why we used to have a system in education where you would have grammar schools and comprehensive schools, because it'd be the people who had passed a certain test would go off to the grammar schools in the UK, and people who fell below a certain line went into the comprehensives. Now, yeah, that was looked down. You know, the people in the grammar school would look down upon the people in the comprehensives, and the people in the comprehensives would look down on the people in the grammar school. But it built up a competition, at least a competitiveness, and the people in the comprehensives are just like, no, this is I'm not going to settle for this. I'm not going to settle for not being able to get row one. And some of them would work damn hard, and they'll get put into the grammar schools because of their hard work. And it didn't mean that people in comprehensives would fail either in life. It just gave them a method to say, right, okay, this is where you think I am. I've got an opportunity now to prove you wrong. And so when we used to have like sports days, and the sports day would be between the comprehensive and the grammar schools, the level of competition was massive because there was such a pride to fight for your corner, to fight for your side. And nowadays, of course, it'd be like, oh no, we can't have that competitiveness. No, look, everyone who participated, you'll get yourself a nice little this or that. No, people need to hear the word no.
But that's a difference. That's a different thing than
being
bullying
over
itself.
legislated. Like that's the problem. Is like we're having a nuanced discussion about it, and that's gone out of schools now. Like if it's any kind of bullying, that kid is gone. They're in trouble. Nothing gets worked out on the schoolyard anymore, even the smallest thing. And that's where we as parents and as adults completely fucking overcorrect and freak out. Because yeah, it's our kids. I get it. But like, oh my God, so much shit got dealt with on the schoolyard when I was a kid. And like, it wasn't as brutal as when my dad was a kid. You know, we're not that far away from when kids were squirted out of a vagina to they needed workers. That's what they need. We're not that far away. Well, we need a couple of more hands on the farm. So let's have some more kids.
Well,
that's what it was for, you know.
The whole reason I was saying that to begin with is you guys are making the same points I was trying to get to. But the reason I said that is we got to be careful how we say it. Bless you, Chrissie. Is because the other side now is using the word bully in such a random generalized term that you just saying, you know, I don't like the color red. You're bullying me.
Yeah.
Like that's what I was trying to get to.
A disagreement with bullying.
Exactly. Yeah. To the point where actual bullying is being ignored. Look at Daphne. She was fucking bullied. And they're not saying shit about that. They're going after Dave for it, right? And that's why I went after Wilson Cruz. And I'm like, that's the thing is there's a situation where they have taken this word and it doesn't matter what you do, what you say, it's considered bullying. It's like, no, criticism is not bullying.
There's also a difference. I mean, what are you talking about, Daphne? I have no idea.
Daphne was the trans who killed herself.
Yeah.
A week after the
Dave Chappelle, because she was horribly
harassment.
She was
harassment on Twitter. Okay,
actual bullying.
There was some. You know, Dave did say in his special, I think it was that. I wasn't sure. There probably was some stuff going on.
But it didn't help.
It doesn't help. But I mean, the biggest difference between a kid on the schoolyard and Twitter is you can turn Twitter off. You don't need Twitter. Twitter can be shut off. Walk away. We've Az said this a couple of weeks ago on a real BBC. We've repeated it since then. If it gets that bad, if Twitter is interfering with your life, where you can't perform at your work, you can't raise your kids.
Yeah.
It's on your mind. Get the fuck away from it. You don't need it. It's not a necessity in life.
But what
Daphne,
I think the scary thing is that there's a lot of adults that don't have that level of maturity to understand that.
Well,
that's bad.
It is bad.
What Daphne couldn't turn off, though, was her own community turning against her.
Yeah.
That's what she couldn't turn off.
Yeah,
right.
That's a different case, of course.
That's basically what we come down to here. And these communities are claiming they're allies in their communities, but yet when the actual bullying fucking happens, they don't do a goddamn thing about it.
These communities are mobs. Fuck the word community. That's why I don't use it. Fellowship, by the way. But yeah, this is a mob.
And you do have to also like take into account a pretty high rate of suicide in that community in general, either post-op or pre-op.
And it's huge comparative to regular non-trans, let's just say.
You're about to say regular people.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yep.
Did you just call us all regular?
Listen,
hey, I think it was a great
regular
discussion.
fries.
I think that was an overall great discussion about the whole prospect of perspective. So.
And we got into it because Squid Games, it's competitive. It's like you can't like report somebody for slitting your throat, you know.
They had a bully character in Squid Games.
Well, you can, Christie, but where's it going to get you?
True.
And I mean, like, talk about character development. Holy shit. You know, like the evil bully guy. And again, for people, like, we spoil stuff with this Friday Night Tights, where I'll if we spoil the end, we'll give you fair warning. It'll be later. It won't be now, but we're going to discuss the show in little details. It's just what we do here. Daniel,
kind of quick question. Ryan and I have not seen Squid Games.
Wow.
Can I ask for everyone who did see it? Did you see yourself in Squid Games?
Yeah.
No.
I was the people with the helmet on.
No, I would say I know what you're getting at. I know what you're getting at, Chris. And yes, it's certain human traits, I didn't see an absolute perfect reflection of myself. No, I did not. Nowhere close. But as brought up, how he identified with one of the characters on a human level. That's storytelling.
Yeah, a lot of people. I've been broke and desperate, like at a point where I would sign up for something like that. Sure, I would pee my pants to get out of something difficult, probably even now.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm doing it right now.
Well, I'm sorry,
the
I
beauty,
didn't do the homework. So
the beauty of Squid Game is it destroys that narrative. It destroys that nonsensical narrative about the white savior, or you have to have white stars to make something like, or you have to have. I know none of the people in there apparently one of the characters in there apparently was the character that played Storm Shadow in G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra. I wasn't even aware of that until after the fact. But yeah, I mean, I didn't know any of the actors in it, and I didn't need to, because it was good storytelling and good character development. And that's all you need. You don't need a certain amount of this race or that gender, or that. You don't need any of that. You just need good storytelling. That's it. It all comes down to a good story and developing it for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. Hollywood is always trying to cast their films before they even create their films. And then once they've casted the film, then the entire existence of someone like Rey was not there to further the Star Wars story. Rey was there to push forward a pro-female agenda, and they wanted to use the platform that Star Wars gave it. Therefore, it was never going to be good. Yes,
that's why the story was an afterthought.
Yeah, so now you get to the point where they built off of all of the momentum off of the Star Wars legacy for 40 years. But then by the time we got to the end of Rey's story, literally nobody cared. Nobody. They even turned off the Last Jedi fan base. Those weirdos even hated Rise of Skywalker. They fucking pissed everybody off because it was never created for the right reason.
By the time they got
sorry, go, you go, Gary.
I was going to say, by the time they actually got to writing The Force Awakens, they felt like all the important stuff had already been done. They checked all the boxes, and the story was just, we'll figure it out on the way. And that's what they did. They wrote the fucking thing.
We hear buzzwords. We don't hear characteristics.
Yep.
We hear strong female. What the fuck does strong female mean? It means nothing. It's a meaningless term. It's a term that's used to disguise that we don't know, or we can't put complexity in this female character. So we give them a brand generic strong female name, and then half the time they just turn out to be men with fucking vaginas. That's all they are, because they can't write a nuanced female character. And then we have diversity. There's going to be black, this, brown, that, and the other. That's not a characteristic. That's not something that people are going to go, oh, yeah, I relate to you purely on your skin color. How many people do you walk down streets and people are pointing at each other? Hey, look, he's the same color as me. Hey, all right, mate.
Doesn't happen.
Nobody
The
does
high five.
that. Yeah. We respond to human traits. That's what we respond to. We respond to things that we can see ourselves when we can see ourselves literally in someone else. And that person could be a male, can be a female, can be black, white. It doesn't matter. That's why we've had, such an intensive 80, 90, 100 years of cinema, 80 years of comics, of all different kinds of different creators and different, black people. You say, oh, I can't identify with Superman. He's a fucking white boy. Although black people don't usually sound like that, but there you go. They don't do that because they see in Superman what they want to aspire to be. They see the morality in Superman. They see the conviction of Superman. They see the courage of Superman, the heroicism. And they're like, these are great human personality traits, which I want to implement into my life. That I want to be better because of this. And that's when we had Squid Game and the one of the main characters of it. I said, yeah, I could identify with the gambling element of it. Because I've been there. I've been there, and I've got a paycheck, and within 30 minutes, it's gone. It's all gone. And I've had to go, and I had to go back home with no money. How do I pay my rent? How do I fucking buy some food? How do I pay for my bills? What do I do now? And just having that utter despair. And I went through that for a long period of time before breaking out of it. So I could get that desperation from that character.
Every drug addict could relate to that too. I mean, past the actual gambling part of it, doesn't matter. It's the addiction part of it that so many people can relate to. And it does.
But these are traits. These are humanistic characteristic traits. They're not superficial. It's not gender and it's not color. They are just their excuses. Nothing but excuses. So you don't have to craft actual complex characters. Squid Game is full of complex characters, from the bully through to the brother-in-law, or whatever you want to call it. I didn't quite understand that relationship dynamic. Your friend, whatever he was meant to be, through to the women and how the women had to try and survive, through to the humanistic level of the primal level of it, and that's why something like that is so, I think, popular right now, because people are actually watching something, bizarrely enough, from the other side of the planet that they can relate to.
Oops.
Chrissie she's back.
Okay, I have a really good point. Because somebody said strong female characters, and I loved the relationship between the two female characters. Like, without spoiling it, right? They end up playing a game together, and it's so good because they're not trying to do what you see like in Hollywood, which is like girls trying to be like the boys, or girls trying to be strong the way that guys are strong. It's like they're clearly weaker. They're acknowledging that women are physically weaker, right? We see that play out in the tug of war game. We see that play out in a couple of other games. Like, it's a fact, women are physically weaker, and they're not fighting over that, but their strengths come down to their feminine strengths, which are connection and empathy and listening to each other, and like their bonding. Like, they spend their whole marbles game, most of it just talking and getting to know each other, and then they spend like 2 minutes playing the game, but the getting to know each other part actually informed, how it was going to go down, instead of how it going down being like in who plays the game, like who just wins the game, versus like, oh my God, how this was figured out, like on this deeper level of like who should live, like who deserves to go on. Which
I know Ryan's not here, but he would say women are weaker. Wait, there it is.
Yeah, women deserve less. That's all I heard.
Women are weaker. He would say that if you were here, and now he's back.
He sensed it.
Yeah,
but again, the beauty of that the whole marble thing is the marbles were technically irrelevant, because the game was a game of wits. That's what it was. because when one of the contestants, after something happens, just turns to the guard and says, "The rules are whoever gets the marbles."
Without being violent, right?
Without being violent. So it doesn't say that you had to compete to win. It doesn't, didn't you do all these things which we assume just because of the nature of playing the game.
Way to get them.
Yeah, but this guy was just like, all you said is whoever gets the marbles in a non-violent way, and the guard's like, And so that whole thing, and everyone, every kind of game that you went through with the people who were doing the marbles, there was a completely different level of humanity between them all, and that's what made that 6th episode just so incredibly great. Was we were seeing this breakdown of humanity and the different ways in which people perceived it, used it, abused it, and then in some cases offered it to others. It was just such a crazy episode.
And I know some people, not many, had problems with the last one. I didn't. I thought, I was cool with the ending. And I hope they end it there. Don't make a damn sequel. Be different. Be completely different than Hollywood, and don't make a sequel. We have some super chats, ladies and gentlemen.
I do apologize, Gary, for not watching it. I thought you said Squidbillies.
Maybe I typed it in wrong. It's okay.
No, that's probably me misreading it.
No, it's fine. I didn't have full plans on watching it at all until Az said he was going to see it, and hang on. Could you just call her back on your phone?
That's the Tim phone.
Get
the
it.
Tim phone.
It's the Tim phone.
Gary, we're feeding the
Hello?
chickens.
No.
Do you have your beanie?
Real quick.
Do
Let
you
me
need
bore
a
you with.
beanie?
Let me. No. It's actually the other problem that's going on is we're closing our house. Our escrow is passed, and the buyer has not paid yet. So the buyer is being held from paying by their bank because here's a lesson: if you're in escrow, don't change your job. Don't change anything about the escrow, or it starts it over again. So the idiot buyer changed their job in the middle of fucking escrow, and it changed it all over. So now we're out of escrow, and I'm forced to right now we're at a fight with the bank. So I yelled at the bank yesterday. I said, "Fucker, I'm putting the house on the market if it's not done by lunchtime tomorrow." And we're at lunchtime. Wow. So we'll find out if I have to put my house back in the market, because the bank has been dicking around with us. They're trying to save a couple of $1,000, so they're trying to dick us around for another week. And so I know it's a boring story, but sometimes you got to stand your ground. Fuck these banks. Daniel, for $100. I wish I don't have my applause here. I'm sorry. Yeah, good to go. Daniel says, without bullying, there would be no never-ending story. Karate Kid, Back to the Future, Harry Potter, Christmas Story, Revenge of the Nerds, Fight Club, Spider-Man. I was bullied until I finally slugged the kid in the face. Bless your heart, Daniel. That kid shook my hand after school that day. Thank you, Daniel. Yes, the guy who bullied me, we became friends, very good friends later on in elementary school. And it prepped me for so much. There's the thing as adults, that punch in the face is called boundaries. We don't need to punch people in the face. What you do is you just set stuff up early. Like, I'm not the kind of person who's going to take this kind of shit ever from a boss or a coworker or a girlfriend or a friend. That's the kind of stuff we set up. And it's very easy to set up on Twitter. You can not respond to a stupid shit, and some people like to do it, and it's fun, and like that's cool. My way of dealing with it is just I don't care, because I don't give a fuck. It's all about being comfortable enough in your skin. Not everybody's there yet. I'm no saint or anything. I'm not there yet either. There are things that bother me, but boundaries is a very important thing in life that we all should learn. I didn't know shit about it.
There's always good, that's cool. Like, there's always good stories that come of these bullying stories. Like, for instance, like with me, like one of the guys that bullied me, he's a fat fucking loser who has nothing going on in life at this point, and I created Geeks and Gamers. That's a beautiful ending to the story, and it motivated me.
Jeremy,
like fuck that guy. There we go.
Way to go, Chrissie.
Where'd that one go, Chrissie? But yeah, so that's a there's always a good ending to these stories as long as you're able to let it motivate you. And other people that have that I was bullied by, yeah, you become friends with people after the fact. So it is what it is, man.
Well, what's the great lesson of those stories, though? Each and every one of them is you only are bullied as long as you allow yourself to be, right?
That is true.
That's exactly. And I to add to what you said, Jeremy, which I think is a great story, is like you learn to respect yourself and to respect others. And there are a whole lot of people that didn't get those lessons. A whole lot of people who were coddled that I think are unremarkable, and to distinguish themselves and make them stand out. I think this explains why there's just this sort of people coloring their hair the different colors, and it's a different, like, that is so prevalent. It's just like, well, I guess you're unique like everybody else.
Yeah. I went through that phase in high school though. Like I wanted to have blue hair in high school. I would get like mascara and put it like in I just can't believe grown ass.
Yeah, but you didn't have something as insidious as a almost a societal element trying to pressure you into identitarianism. Which is what's happening now. These people are attacking our children.
They're bullying us
oh no, we got toy stores in America now who are getting rid of boys and girls aisles. British Airways are no longer saying ladies and gentlemen before their announcements.
That's ridiculous.
This is getting so beyond pathetic. It's unreal, and this is why I said this is why the word no has needed to come in way before we got to this pathetic time. Lego. Oh, we're just going to be doing gender neutral brick. What do you mean gender fucking neutral bricks?
No,
the whole basis is that boys and girls gravitate towards different things anyway, but they just want to homogenize everything. I think
what
Zuby.
If instead of ladies and gentlemen, they say, well, what's up, gays and theys?
Trans and pans. I don't know what the fuck do you want to say.
You can rhyme it too. That's good. But I don't know what they're gonna.
Great thing is yesterday he said something like, let me try and find it. You do tweet a lot.
He tweets a lot. Yeah.
I know. I'm trying to find this fucking thing.
Well, it's about imposing your will, the dominance of one particular point of view and will. That is tyranny. It's the very definition of it, and we're allowing it to go on. And because we didn't set our boundaries early enough, we're ending up calling out this stuff now. And I know there's always I think legit criticism that sometimes we call out too much, but by not calling stuff out, by walking, there's if we walk away, yes, walk away, close your wallet, but keep pointing it out. We have to keep pointing it out, because by walking away and not doing anything, they took over the schools, they took over the government, they took over fucking the institution of Hollywood, they took over everything.
And bad ideas need to be mocked.
Severely, incessantly. So
absolutely, pointed and laughed at.
I like what Brightest Day
by eco warrior Superman. It's just it's just pathetic. And then OMAC is now a trans he, they, them. OMAC is now a trans he, they, them.
Tell you, Kirby wouldn't have liked any of that. What were you going to say, Ryan?
They couldn't even let Robin go on his fucking date with his boyfriend before turning someone else.
Yeah, well, that's the plan. They'll eventually butt fuck each other. But I like what Brightest Day said in the chat. Brightest Day, instead of ladies and gentlemen, he wants it to be holes and poles.
That's brilliant.
I think that's good.
I think that's good.
Post out.
We are now going to start every Friday Night Tights like that. So
that's inclusive, right? That's inclusive. All
very
people
inclusive.
Included in that.
Sounds like the name of a dive bar. Yeah.
Oh God,
the chat is always amazing. They always come up with great stuff. This morning they came up with another one, Activist. I love that one.
Yeah,
I've heard that one.
I heard Ripper say that. I heard Ripper say that one.
Okay, well that's one Rippers. Okay,
I don't even call them actors.
You were plagiarizing. You're plagiarizing.
I didn't know that.
I just called them twats.
Somebody in the chat.
Yeah, adult pretenders. People get really mad when I say that, and okay, that's fine. That's what they do for a living. They pretend for a living. It's make believe. They get made. I mean, so, yeah, it's an art, and some of them I do call actors. I think they're, I think Matthew McConaughey is an actor. but most of them are just adult pretenders, and it's mostly because of what they do when they get off script. That's the most embarrassing stuff. So on the donation side for $25, and I got to put my glasses down to my nose because I'm old. Terry Krempkis for $25 says, been watching the show for just over a year. TGI FNT. Oh, I love new viewers. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Hell
I
yeah.
appreciate it. I'm
Thank
assuming
you.
it's a man, Terry, because it's Terry, although my sister spells it like that. So that might
Are you
not be
assuming
right.
their gender?
I assume their gender. I'm terrible. WG for $50 says
Hell
Team. By the way, I just watched Team America WG. I think might be my favorite all-time movie now.
Have you never seen it before?
No, dude. I saw it in the theater when it came out on a preview. But like my favorite all-time movies, like they change, right? You know, because it used to be Fight Club or Raiders of the Lost Ark, but I think Team America has now taken the spot because fucking it's just wall to wall, laugh my ass off from beginning to
The
end.
soundtrack is so like these are legitimately good songs. Like you can just cruise around listening to these fucking songs. Like
Freedom isn't
free.
It costs folks like you and me.
Freedom costs a buck oh five.
Gary, I want you to do something.
I like
for me.
montage.
Yeah.
Montage. Even Rocky had a montage.
I didn't hear that in the comic store when that came out when I was working at a comic shop. I heard that every fucking day. Suck my dick, Gary.
And
That's a bond that two men have when one.
Yeah.
The Chapman, Everyone Has AIDS, probably the best song in the whole movie.
Yes.
From the big musical Lease. I love it.
And I will say that
hilarious.
I would like to start a petition to change it to the Film Actors Guild because I think
I
that
would
fits
too.
a lot
I
better.
know.
Matt Damon. Team
The
America.
story of why they did
I wonder
that.
how bad Matt Damon hates that fucking.
He doesn't really understand it, but like the story behind it is they never meant to do that because they're actually friends with Matt Damon.
Oh,
They were
really?
probably
Okay.
just trying
Yeah.
to come up with a voice for him, and somebody did that.
Do
and that-
you know who
The
actually
production
happened?
of that
Tom?
specific...
Do you know why?
I do.
Why South Park exists? Do
Well,
you know
South
who
Park I
made
do.
it famous?
I don't know. Who
George
made it famous.
Clooney.
George Clooney.
George
kinda, well,
Clooney. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he
right.
did the Christmas.
Played the gay
Christmas
dog,
card.
didn't he? Was it
Yeah,
the
he
gay
played
dog?
the gay
Yeah.
dog.
He played the gay dog, but the whole thing behind Matt Damon was they never meant for it to be that way. But it came out of the mold all fucked up, and they're like, "Oh God, he looks retarded." So like, well, what do we do? Well, we'll just have him be retarded.
Yep. And it
That's the
turns
whole
out to
reason we
really
do that.
connect with the public for some reason. So to get back to the super chat here, Team America summed up bullying the best. Pussies don't like dicks because pussies get fucked by dicks. But dicks also fuck assholes. Pussies may think they can deal with assholes their way, but the only thing that that can fuck an asshole is a dick.
Is it?
There you go.
They're only
Thank
two
you.
That whole
inches. They're only
speech
2
is
inches
just-
apart from
That's
each
brilliant.
other. But,
Yeah.
Trey
Well
Parker
said.
is a genius.
Well said. Joker Man for $5 on the donation side. To my fellow, oh my God, connoisseurs of Lego, who are what are your thoughts on the Lego group amping up the woke by getting rid of gender stereotypes in their products?
What
the
gender
fuck does
stereotypes
that
in their
mean?
products?
Yeah, exactly.
like, wasn't Lego the ones that were trying to figure out like how to sell to girls? They made like pink and purple Legos and shit at one point.
Mhm.
And so they just gave up and realized, hey, not a lot of chicks like this. Let's just keep making it the same way we've been making it, and people will buy it.
Mhm. And they were
They're-
going to get rid of the
yeah.
cops, and then they didn't. So
They're really just trying to sell Legos to woke parents. This has nothing to do with what children prefer or don't
Yeah.
prefer.
That's a
Yeah.
good point.
Exactly.
and there's a lot of dumb woke parents out there.
Yep.
What
unfortunately.
gender stereotypes exist in Lego?
I hope those parents walk through their fucking kid's room right after they buy the Legos in the middle of the night, and just it's like walking on those what were those bamboo spikes that the Viet Cong
Bungee
used to put
sticks?
up? Yeah,
Bamboo spikes.
it fucking exactly. It hurts just as much. So fuck
Every
Legos.
parent
Yeah,
knows
I
that.
actually got a Lego embedded in my knee once when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
The fuck?
Badass.
Yeah, I don't remember how I did it. I think I
down on
either tripped or fell, and basically it got caught on the carpet, went right into my my knee.
Is it still
Yeah.
there?
No, it's not still
Okay.
there, Ryan.
Was it
removed
a
successfully.
tour? Or was it a 2 or a 3?
Oh, dude, it was a long brick.
Oh,
it didn't go all in. It went in, like let's say a quarter of an inch, maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
it hurt like a motherfucker.
Perry Chan, please just
Take it all. Take it all.
Terry, please don't take that out of context.
Oh, it was a long one, man. It went all the way in.
I would hate for that to be taken out of context comment.
I would too.
I took 8 inches. What?
Oh,
can't believe I ate the whole thing.
So,
like
a lot of just the tip jokes.
Oh my god, ass! Put that whole thing in his mouth.
Did he? I just missed it.
Yes.
I'm
He
on
just
one
deep
screen.
throated his microphone.
Oh,
That's
that won't be taken out of context
That
either.
sure's got some girth on it too.
Yeah,
It's
you've
made
done
a
that
lot of gay
before.
fans.
It's based on my penis, so of course it has.
There you go.
That's how you do it fit in your own mouth.
That's why it's called a sure. It's a sure thing.
And it was that day that Az found himself a whole new fan
Ryan's
base.
joke didn't get enough. No, that was
Yeah.
good.
Oh shit!
Good lord!
Man, I thought I could do that.
Oh damn!
That's
Az
what
can suck a mean
OnlyFans. Holy shit!
I didn't hear. I really wanted to hear the gag though. You know what I mean? That's
don't
what I
gag.
want to hear next time.
I don't gag.
That's impressive.
There was room for more, but this got
That's
in the
what
way.
he said. I don't know.
That got in the way that I could. There's
By
room
the
for
end of
more.
this show, that whole thing's gonna be down Az's throat, guys. So
Oh.
It really is.
Only a real man
Somebody
deep
just
throats a microphone.
Somebody typed in the chat the real BBC.
No shit, right? Az is gonna start getting some strange fan mail now.
Won't be the first time.
There
Won't be
we
the
go.
last.
All right, so GameSpot got the
OnlyFans
reaction.
starting on Monday.
Well, you promised that with Clown Az, and
Well,
so
I'm
many
going
people were
to put
excited.
clown makeup on and deep throat microphones
There
for,
you go.
for a living from now on.
You'll never have to
So
YouTube
I guess
again.
make
BBC
$1
would
million
change to
bucks.
big bald cocks.
Yep. GameSpot put up a tweet a couple of days ago. I never had time to make a video on this because of the travel and stuff. So we're going to talk about it here. We're going to talk about Lord of the Rings. I've made a couple of videos on this over the last couple of years, talking about like what they're going to be going to do with this show, and it's going to be something with Tolkien stuff in it, but it will be nothing like the Silmarillion, the Lost Tales, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, anything else he's done, because the people who are making the show don't really believe in Tolkien or what he believed in or his messaging outside of, Tolkien didn't like industrialization. So he was that they could probably get they're down with, and shit, I don't know if I like it that much, but he hated the combustion engine, for example. But there's other stuff that was thematic stuff that was definitely baked into his scripts, like his Catholicism, Christianity, God. And those are the things that are they're going to be gone out of this. And this has nothing to do with Amazon's Lord of the Rings, other than this is the show we're going to get. They put up this. One of the commonly cited issues with Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, by the way, we're just talking about the films here, series from the early 2000s is its lack of diversity.
Lying.
Literally never. That argument has never happened. No one has ever said that. That is, they invent shit to complain about. That is what they do. They invent a problem that does not exist. Therefore, they can be brave and stunning by, fixing a problem that never existed. This is what they do. This is fucking insane.
I would actually go so far to say that if Lord of the Rings came out today, if the same thing came out today, you would have some YouTube channels that would be making videos calling Eowyn a Mary Sue. Like the graphic below, right, talks about strong female characters, all these things, right? Eowyn's an awesome fucking character, a strong female character. You can't tell me that they don't have diversity in Lord of the Rings and every single character is exactly the fucking same. Now, I think we all know what Tolkien based it off of, right? It's basically like an Anglo-Saxon mythology, So maybe it's not the diversity you're looking for that you want in there that you think it should be, but there was diverse characters.
Ryan, you're wrong. Tolkien always meant it to be Gandalf the Black. He just thought that audiences weren't going to be accepting of it. So
I would see Lord of the Nuva Rings. I would check that out. All female cast.
Gandalf the gay.
Those all those messages that they're looking for. Yes, yeah, Ryan's right. They are in the story. Yeah. They are in the story. Anything about like racism, it's certainly there between the dwarves and the elves. There's plenty of racism. And Arwen, there's Eowyn and Arwen. And so Arwen was complained about. That was a common complaint back when the movies came out. You know who complained about it? Fucking OneRing.net. They were one of the people who were complaining about it. If you go back and take a look, because I remember reading about it. She was going to be at the Battle of at Helm's Deep. They shot it, and there was such a blowback from the fan base that they took it out. But she was going to be in the battle but people were mad that it didn't happen in the books, and people were mad that her character was taking the place of Glorfindel, another character from the books. So I wouldn't even say it was common, but it was there. The only common criticism I've ever heard of the Peter Jacksons was the stupid Kevin Smith, they're walking too much, and the endings, the multiple endings that went on too long.
I mean, yeah, I do think like the ending for Return of the King, like that was about the only issue really that I've heard consistently, but that's it, man. Yeah, and I know the walking thing, but like that's a good meme that was created from Clerks 2. Yeah. And maybe it's valid if that's like if you're not understanding what you're watching, but these films are fucking amazing, dude. They are legendary, and I think they are. I'm gonna start sounding like the guy in Clerks 2 for a minute, but they're such an achievement in filmmaking.
Yeah,
they just
are good. Very, very
the
good.
fact that they're trying to invent a criticism that doesn't exist is laughable, and I feel like most people with a working brain are going to see right through this shit. But it doesn't change the fact that Amazon's going to fuck this up.
Well, it's applying today's standards to a movie that came out like practically a decade ago. It's like going back and saying, Casablanca is not diverse enough. It's
2 decades ago, actually.
Well, comics Gone with the Wind is problematic.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
And saying that Lord of the Rings is
already at that stage.
Now, this is an actor. It was Lenny Henry who said he didn't use the word multicultural. At least I don't think. I think he said there's going to be black hobbits for sure, but a maybe he did because he was talking about
he did. He said that there's black ones, there's Maori ones, there's Asian hobbits, whatever the fuck that word is. Yeah.
And that doesn't make any sense because that's
no,
all because the environment in which those people evolved.
Because
there shouldn't even be hobbits yet.
English mythology.
Yes,
it was a mythology for England specifically that was written, which has been said over and over and over again. So it's multicultural within its mythology because it's based on multiple mythologies from different, cultures. From Northern Europe, but that's what it was there. That's what it's there for. I just don't know how you make something that looks like Tolkien when it's just going to be as far away from it as possible. I don't think anybody expected it to be an all-white cast on the fucking Amazon Prime show, but it's going to be the story. That's where I'm worried. I am way more worried about there being an intersectional feminist. There'll be Galadriel leading an all-female Númenórean, fucking army against a bisexual Sauron. So
I really want to know with these multicultural hobbits living together. Well, they sure as hell weren't multicultural later on. So I, for one, am looking forward to the story of the Hobbit. I want to see the story of the Hobbit cost. That's what I want to see.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
It's like
when did the Hobbit genocide happen? Well, I mean, we know who wins.
Well, yeah, because
nobody white.
Lenny must have misspoke when he said we're going to see the early days of the Shire. Unless they're walking around in the Shire before it was built and they were just there in the land without calling it the Shire.
About. Yeah.
Like I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Exactly. So, they had the river folk, but there was no Shire yet.
They weren't anywhere near the Shire. Yeah. Not to get too uber nerdy, but that's what we do here. They were east of the Misty Mountains.
That too.
And it was the Third Age, and it was like 1600 years into the Third Age before they settled it. But it sounded like to me that Amazon really wanted hobbits and they really want wizards. and they weren't in the story that they purchased. So they found a way to put them in there and completely fuck it up. But it's like it's the last franchise standing that it couldn't be left alone. And it is multicultural. It will be, it's the easiestly accessible show there is. There's no lock on the book. There's no age. There's no store that's going to go, you know what? Sorry, you're Asian. You can't buy Lord of the Rings, or you can't watch it. You can watch this show. It's been translated into multiple languages around the world for 50 years, but Amazon's going to come around. They're going to make it better somehow. So good luck.
Yeah.
Don't everybody talk at once on the panel.
I agree with you. By this like little snippet of ass deep throating the microphone.
Somebody just retweeted that.
Well, and I was just reminded of what you said the other night, Gary, about how like they could even take like the river folk, because like in the book they are described like a little darker skinned, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I can't remember if it was the river folk specifically, but they are described as having walnut brown skin.
Yeah. And then aren't correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been like 20 years almost since I've read the books.
There's 3 different ones, right? There's 3 different specific types of like hobbits at that point, but they were not multicultural. They were all like different because they were like in different areas. They were separated.
Because Smeagol was one of the river folk.
Maybe they came from the same place that the residents in the Witcher villages came from.
Maybe.
Do the river people like to loot shopping malls?
Well, Smeagol did steal and kill somebody or steal that ring and kill the guy for it.
Yeah.
So.
What was the ring like an allegory or a
allegory
for a fucking Nikes? Is that what we're doing here?
I just
Walmart.
Give us your Jordans, yes.
My precious Jordans.
But we're on your side.
We don't really talk about the Lord of the Rings movies that much today, in the sense that, I was not a fan of the books, and the fact that I love those films is, I think, saying something. Like I'm not a fantasy is not really my vibe, but like I love those movies. We're not complaining about. We're still talking about Star Wars and the sequel trilogy, right? Like just like all the flaws in that and how that was like ended up being a disaster. But the Lord of the Rings films to today, they're incredibly enjoyable, and no one complained about that stuff back then. Jeremy, you were right. No one complained about the lack of diversity in the Lord of the Rings films at the time they were made. They're changing it, right? But this could also be something. Are they like trying like they did with James Bond? James Bond did not turn out as woke as we thought it would be. Are they kind of trying to inoculate themselves against criticism? I don't know what they're.
Yes, that's what a lot of that is.
Is like they're just sort of saying to the press, like, hey, it's going to be what you want because so many journalists want it to be a certain way, and so they're just baiting them, and so that when it comes out and it's not as woke as they've made it out to be, then it's like, oh, they're throwing them a bone. So what I'm saying is, until we see it, like, I don't really have much of an opinion on it, except I'm probably not gonna like it. I thought The Hobbit was a colossal disappointment. I mean, let's make it 3 movies, like drag that. And it was the overuse of the digital. It just looked like a freaking video game. It was just so. But those 3 Lord of the Rings films are as perfect as movies could be in terms of just grabbing people like myself that are not super fans of that genre. So
you might be right.
Goal is with this,
because I do remember. I don't know exactly where Andre heard this from, so I can't say sorry. But he had said that he heard that Denis Villeneuve was told that if he didn't swap out at least one of the main cast members, they would do it for him.
Ooh.
So in his response to that, he basically swapped out the one character that had the least to do with anything if it did happen, right?
The least important person, he made it black.
Yeah, basically. So like it was kind of a fuck you at the same time. So like I wouldn't be surprised if you're not wrong, or if you're right on that, Chris. Like we've seen this now with 4 movies basically where they've pushed this diversity thing in the media and it's not really there in the film. I mean, there's other things we could discuss about it, like with Bond and certain things like that. And even Venom, you could make some arguments. But really, we've seen that now with Dune, Bond, Venom, and now with Halloween, where they've tried to put out some kind of thing in the media that's not really there. right? Because Jamie Lee Curtis was out there going, "This is the Me Too of Halloween movies." I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see it.
I thought she said it was
Michael
inspired
Myers
by January
an
6th.
allegory for trans Twitter.
Oh God!
So what did
Well,
she say? So
maybe
Jamie
the
Lee
town.
Curtis has said that Halloween, the new one she's in, is a allegory for January 6th and a Me Too movie. All
Yeah,
wrapped in
she was
one?
saying all kinds of weird shit about it. Like she has gone off the rocker on this one. That's why I'm worried about the third one, because this one was actually pretty good. The
Why
third
did
one I'm
one of
worried
the people
about now.
trying to escape just suddenly get stopped by a policeman and then they shot them in the head?
Oh my god! Odin's got to bounce. So Odin.
Yeah, I gotta go pick up the baby from daycare. So
Thor.
yeah.
Make sure you pick the right one.
It's the one with the hammer.
Check the secret mark that you marked on them that only
No.
you know.
I gotta sniff them
It's
all.
racist if you don't pick up just the first baby there.
Yeah, pick a diverse baby.
Wow.
Odin,
Yeah.
is it a baby or is it a baby? Like,
If
did
you pick, if
What?
there's diverse,
he
if
just
there's-
turned one this week.
If there's diverse babies there, you pick up the white one. You're racist. So
Wow.
You know that's scary. You say that, but wait till they get to that point where it's like, no, we let the children pick which parent they want to go home.
Oh, God.
You joke, and yet that's kind of the direction
Yeah,
that
it's,
it's
it's
in.
in that way, isn't it?
that's true.
All right. Anyway, you all have a great rest of your day.
See you, man. I have a question about Bond because of what we're talking about with the woke marketing. Yet now again, I didn't see the film, but so it's not as woke as it was in everybody thought. But didn't the woke has the woke marketing hurt the performance of the film? Because from what I hear, it's probably not going to make
I think
profit.
it did.
Yeah, you could ask Odin. He would
I-
tell him.
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah,
know
no.
if it would have been tough. Like, considered needed to get 800 to 900 million. It was going to be tough either way.
Yeah.
I don't know what this weekend's box office is looking like as far as a hold for this movie.
I don't know how.
I think it might have cost it like $5 million on the first weekend,
think
which
the
is
word of
still
mouth really
which is
hurt it.
more than it's gonna help it, right?
Yeah.
So it's Lori.
But Bond movies they're kind of like an aberration to traditional box office and like how almost everything else is, because it does so big. Like the biggest Bond domestic release ever was Skyfall at like 82 or 83 million dollars. So
my point was like it was an overall negative. I don't say it didn't bury the film, but like they could have used a couple of extra. Like remember fucking X-Men Dark Phoenix, Ryan? Like they put out that clip going it's X-Men not or X-Women not X-Men. Well, I think that clip cost them $5 million on opening weekend. The movie still sucked and it wasn't woke.
I think word of mouth hurt it more than anything. Yeah.
Yeah, that movie.
We're talking
wasn't
about
woke.
opening.
Yeah.
I'm talking specifically about opening weekend. So
Me
word
too.
of mouth can't affect.
It did,
any-
but though if you
on
look at the numbers,
X-Men Dark Phoenix, on X-Men Dark Phoenix,
on X-Men Dark Phoenix,
My bigger point here.
Yeah.
My bigger point here is that we've already seen that woke movies, they continue to fail. Now it seems like they're starting to market something as more woke than it might be, but even that's hurting the films and the shows too, even just acting like it's going to be. So I think that's a good trend, considering things like Ghostbusters 2016 failed, the sequel trilogy failed, things like this continue to fail when you actually put it into the product. Now you're actually just trying to make it seem like it so you can get that PR bullshit that you're looking for, but then reality is the film doesn't represent the woke marketing. But even with the woke marketing, you're hurting the opportunity to put asses in the seats. So it's just to me that's a good trend, and it might be something I'm looking further into. But like the Bond thing, when you guys tell me like it's not woke but it was marketed woke, well, it's still underperforming. So
well, the thing I find funny about it is that the media hasn't gone and started calling these productions out for doing that, because they listed the whole thing with the tampon scene, but it wasn't in the movie. So it's like, why isn't the media calling them hypocrites for basically not having it there to begin with?
Because they got what they needed. Because the media doesn't care. It's all a game. It's all a game. They're not the media. They're the promotional wing for Hollywood and the state and the government.
100%.
Yeah, they're a joke.
I prefer the term Gestapo.
Yeah.
You're not
That's exactly
wrong,
what they are.
The Gestapo of Hollywood.
Or the
That's why we have
propaganda
this-
arm.
Well, they're asking for our papers.
This tweet, in conjunction with the Tolkien Society, right? Going out and projecting whatever the hell they want to project on Tolkien's works was all for Amazon. It's all for Amazon. The Tolkien Society probably, they were probably nudged in the right direction by some marketing people and go, hey, we'll get you free pass. We'll let you see the show early. Let's do some stuff. Let's just, salt the earth. I don't know whatever term you want to use. And listen, the show, I hope the show's fucking awesome. I hope it's the best fucking show ever made. It would be great for this channel. It would be better for this channel if this show was good than if it was bad. And that's the case for a lot of things. YouTube likes it more when people are talking positively about the show. Advertisers like it more when people are talking positive about the show. So that's why it motivates people to talk positive about things when they're not that positive about them. There is a financial incentive, a big one.
Think about how many channels blew up in Star Wars and like the lead up to The Force Awakens and even after it, because, I didn't like it, but a lot of people did when it came out. So the number of channels that blew up over that, whether it was theories, whether it was talking about what happened with this character, that character, because when you do feel good about something, then you want to know more about it. You're thinking about what could they do from here? What could they do with these characters? These theory videos. That didn't happen afterwards. And there's a time where like the hate starts to become irrelevant, right? Whereas if it was positive, it wouldn't be the case.
Ryan, are you saying that Star Wars channels blew up based on the positivity surrounding Star Wars because a lot of people were excited about it? Is that what you're saying? That's amazing.
I don't really remember what I ever say, but I think
that's amazing. That's amazing that when The Force Awakens, the lead up to it, and then after it, Star Wars was in a good place in terms of a lot of fans' eyes. So therefore, there was a lot of positive channels growing. And then The Last Jedi came out. And then Solo came out, and Solo lost money. And then The Rise of Skywalker, and a lot of negative Star Wars channels started to get traction, probably because every fucking body hated it. So it wasn't just a thing where there were a few men in their basement that were angry. Everybody fucking hated these movies because they were piles of shit. Because the fans were fucking sick of it. And fans were looking for people to be honest about it and not kiss Mickey's ass. And a lot of those channels that grew from The Force Awakens were still sitting there holding on to Mickey's little nuts because they couldn't let go of the access. And that's how people like us started to get traction, because we were being honest, because we don't give a fuck about the access. We don't give a fuck about making sure Mickey is happy. And that's what happened. So the sequel trilogy is a trash fire. They are objectively bad films. It's okay if you like them, but they're still bad movies. And that's just how it worked out. That's why a lot of channels grew off the positivity and a lot grew off of the negativity, because that reflected the fan base.
To get back around circle to what we started with this portion of the conversation, is the word of mouth in the last few years with the internet specifically. It shows, like, reflects, like, look at what we've seen in the last few weeks. You had Venom, which stayed pretty consistent throughout that weekend because for the most part, word of mouth was good. I know a lot of people on the panel didn't care for it, but the general audience seemed to enjoy it. Now look at Bond. It had a strong opening night and then it went like that. And I think
it had an opening night that is basically equivalent to what it did in the opening weekend if you compare it to Venom.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So well, no, but then over the Sunday it went down because it made 30 million less than Venom did. Almost 20 some million less. Wow. So it was like,
that's what I'm saying. There? Like its opening night was significantly less than Venom's.
No, it wasn't that much less. It was 6.3 and Venom's was what, like 8?
8 or 9. So that's equivalent roughly to about 66% of the box office. It was about,
Venom's opening. It's Thursday night. It was 11.
11.
There you go. So I disagree that word of mouth had very much to do with opening weekend. Opening weekend is about the way that the movie has been marketed. And the way that people feel about how that movie has been marketed. That's why the cinema score, whatever it is, that people they like to take that and be like, oh, it means that it's a good movie. That just means that the movie was marketed a certain way. And I really think the second weekend, and obviously after the first weekend in general, is where we see the word of mouth really carry on.
I think Raccoon City, Welcome to Raccoon City, Resident Evil is gonna be the biggest grossing movie of all time.
Yep.
I like how you say raccoon.
I just wanted to say Coon. Yeah.
Raccoon.
Yeah. That was the thing that got me about it. That it was just a hard C.
Raccoon.
Raccoon.
What would call it? A rahoon?
The woke marketing. It annoys people. It's a positive. It's just a negative all the way around now. But they still continue to do it. We can be quiet about it. I think Chris was onto something by it. But I think they're just trying to satisfy some people before they come out with their maybe not so woke show. We'll see. Well, it remains to be seen. But
I think it's a huge mistake because you're pandering to the journalists and you're turning off a general audience that doesn't represent that point of view. I mean, let's be frank that these people in that position, they represent a minority opinion. And I think which is fine. They can have that opinion, but I think it turns off a general audience. I mean, I think Bond definitely suffered from it for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I think the people in marketing have to look at this and go, this isn't resonating. This might get us some, all sorts of articles with clicks and whatnot, but people don't want it. They're rejecting it, right? Like at all levels, not just in, filmed entertainment and television, but in sports, to give a plug, there's another channel that Jeremy has called Sports Wars. You might have, I don't know if you heard of it, but people don't like it. General audiences do not. It's just sort of.
We got some breaking news. Sir Michael Caine has announced his retirement from acting.
God, I thought you were going to say he fucking died.
Died. This is going to be about Bill Clinton in the ICU.
You didn't let me finish. Sir Michael Caine has announced his retirement from acting so he can die. Is that better for you, Ryan?
This is Michael Caine.
How is Christopher Nolan going to ever make another movie?
Well, I thought when it said Michael Caine is revealed, I was like, he's going to be in the Flash movie. And then it was like, no, he's retired. I was like, oh, fuck.
This is what we all say when you're not around.
About Betty White. It's very sad news about Betty White.
What?
She's retired.
Michael Caine is a legend. Still his, his greatest role ever is in a Muppets Christmas Carol. That's GOAT status right there. I'm sad that Christopher Nolan's never going to make another movie now.
I guess, how's he's got to find a new old guy to like.
Tenet really wasn't that great. So
he's going to be a writer now. He said he's going to be a writer from here on in.
Well, good for him.
Can he just be the Stan Lee of Christopher Nolan's movies? Like, just make like a cameo, Like,
just open a door in his head. He just goes, Tangerine.
Nolan, you need some comedic timing. Let's get that to happen. If Nolan could add that to his films, he get that comedy of Michael Caine just opening the door saying Tangerine. That'd be great.
Tangerine.
Can we please talk about how much Timothy Chalamet, however his name is, as Willy Wonka looks like fucking Gonzo from that Muppet movie you're talking about, Jeremy?
Oh, totally.
Here, let me share this.
I saw that.
Why is there another Willy Wonka?
There it is.
Why?
Because Warner Brothers needs franchises, like Chris said too. Like everybody wants franchises.
Oh God!
Taking kids around a chocolate factory is not a fucking franchise.
I don't disagree with you, Az.
First of all,
why are they remaking this movie again?
They're not remaking. This is a prequel.
This is a prequel.
And I don't know how you can. What backstory does Willy Wonka have other than he was obviously like molested as a child? That like has to be the only possible backstory for Willy Wonka. But I will say,
is he molested while the guy's
he already got
chocolate?
backstory.
Is that it? Is that what
he looks just like him? He looks just like him.
Wow, they're sharing clothes.
You raided my wardrobe.
Holy shit, that's so good.
Sometimes I like to wear dresses. No, that's not me. That's
maybe
the
they're
Disney
paying
version.
homage to the greatness of the Muppets Christmas Carol. Maybe that's what they're doing.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I
Gonzo chicken footy.
That's what I call the factory.
I mean, one of the many fucking problems of the Tim Burton is that they gave him a backstory. It's like that takes away all the mysticism of who Willy Wonka is, right? Like it's just to me, it's just stupid.
I mean, I want to see Jaws's parents fuck.
He was a young shark, and he saw them killed by whalers, and he wanted to get back at them.
Yep.
Corporate needs to find the difference between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
Before
they weigh the same. That's for
before
sure.
he had jaws, he had gums.
Yep. Oh my god, that is such a dumb fucking idea.
It is.
Willy Wonka, the early years.
He did. If you like change that costume a little bit, he actually looked like a pretty cool Mad Hatter.
Good point. He looks like fucking what's he called from Great Expectation? Not Great Expectations.
A girl.
From Oliver. From Oliver. He looks like Dodger. The Dodger.
Oh, from Oliver.
Yeah. The Artful Dodger. I got there in the end.
He looks like the kind of actors that would be he looks like one of the kind of actors that would be very popular amongst producers in Hollywood.
Yeah,
I think Ezra's going
to do shit.
I've got somebody that'd be a little more popular in Hollywood right there. So
Ezra?
Yes, he would be very popular.
Oh boy,
who is that masked man? Could you identify him in a crowd? I don't think you could. I don't think you could identify. No, who is that masked brave man?
Big bald cocks.
This is giving us much needed diversity points, though.
All I'm doing, right?
Really is.
All I'm doing is fucking shaming the women in the audience. That's all I'm doing. Women, fucking up your game. All right, up your game.
This could just be like such. This could just be a meme format. Like, as could just be like shill YouTube channel. The microphone is like Disney Star Wars or something. You know, like, there's so many possibilities from this.
Well, we made we made the joke earlier that Jeremy, like Gary made the joke earlier that Jeremy could just fart and get more views than Star Trek. Well, as proved it. All he did that one time, what was it? He burped and it got like
a cough
or something like that, and it got more views than Star Trek shit did. So yeah. And to finish off the Charlie thing, the only reason, or the Willy Wonka thing, the only reason we're getting a sequel is because that fucking remake made almost $500 million. That's why.
Well, Alice in Wonderland remake made $1 billion fucking worldwide.
I know.
And the sequel came out and didn't.
Tanked.
Yeah. They're out of ideas. They're obviously out of fucking ideas. It's lame. Chris Gore.
I did just want to comment. I believe, Gary, you said something that was very poignant. You made a point that said
thank you.
Timothée Chalamet is an actor that looks like to be very popular in Hollywood. Are you saying that people who look like they're perpetually 14-year-old boys might be popular, some producers in Hollywood?
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you.
Interesting.
Not beating around the bush on that one.
Non-binary.
Because there's no bush yet.
Chris Gore.
Yes, sir.
Will this shit ever end? Will it ever change in Hollywood? Is there enough people practicing common sense in Hollywood to where we will see? Nobody's gonna I don't expect Hollywood to like fucking turn, and I don't want it to, but just get back to, I don't know, maybe not demonizing half of America.
I don't think so. I think they've gone down this path, and that's it. They're committed, and I don't see it changing. The only thing I see changing is other smaller, like indie, like Daily Wire, right? Like what they're doing. There'll be more people doing that. And I think you're going to see, I predict, because the weird thing is in Hollywood is I know a lot of different people in Hollywood. And I'll just say this, not everybody subscribes to all this stuff. And I know you've heard rumblings, Gary, yourself, people have reached out to you, and they're living in fear for their jobs, for their production, for what's happening right now.
That's frightening.
That I know, creatives at high levels that do not subscribe to the politics and the lecturing that has become so prevalent. I think you're going to see some people doing more independent production and or getting financing outside of Hollywood. So getting money from overseas, I could see Christopher Nolan just saying, look, I'm just going to get money from wherever. And it doesn't mean it won't be distributed, say, by a company in the United States, like a Warner Brothers and whatnot, because it's weird how the financing happens with some of these larger productions, right? They put the funding together, and then a studio can act as a distribution arm. I think you're going to see people break away and stop pitching the studios. It's just rare when you get someone like a James Gunn who's able to just, for the most part, push back against that kind of stuff. But there's not enough, and I really think it's just going to come down to box office and Hollywood taking a hard look at itself, saying this isn't working. This isn't working. And they have to realize, like, did they even like some of these movies that are super woke? I mean, I just don't think there's a lot of honest conversation happening, probably around a lot of things, but in particular Hollywood, which is built on phony bullshit. So
I think what's going to change it is bankruptcy.
Yes, you're going to
It's
see.
not going to get That's not going to happen, though.
Yeah, that's the issue.
That's not a reality.
I could see Paramount getting bought by Apple. I can see you're going to see some you're going to see some of these companies merge because they're not sustainable. And Paramount has a decent library, right? I mean, that would be a big win for Apple because no one's on Apple TV, right? There's actually decent stuff coming to Apple TV, so I hear. And because there's a Dune channel I subscribe to, this guy Quinn's Ideas, that he's pretty good and he talks about Dune a lot, but he's been covering Foundation. It seems like it's pretty good, but no one's watching Apple TV, right? So I could see them making a move for Paramount because they're in trouble. And I don't know, is Peacock going to survive? No.
I don't know. And Apple's got all that liquid cash too, so
True.
they can afford to
Peacock's
be in trouble and like not and buy Paramount. Paramount is going to be sold. It's only a matter of time. It's got a huge library, and I think they changed some sort of leadership again.
Yeah, they just did.
all because Star Trek's been a massive success over there. Just a huge success.
Well, they've been moving around some IPs, and there was rumors. The same person I heard the Bond stuff from was telling me there was some really big meetings going on between like Apple and a couple other companies that were in talks with Paramount. So it's very possible that they're going to split off again, move what they want over to CBS, sell Paramount off, and basically it'll be for, like you just said, the catalog at that point.
Yeah, I mean, Apple TV is because Apple's proprietary, and they like nobody fucking wants to. Watch their TV on their stupid iPhone. That they should get an Android anyway. You should really give up those iPhones. They're terrible.
Damn right.
A little bit,
Damn right.
Yep, that's what I did. I ditched my iPhone and ditched this thing for my Pixel 4, which I loaded Calyx on, so I have a little bit more privacy.
What's that like? What's that like, dude?
It's decent, man. It's definitely very different from obviously being a part of the Apple ecosystem. There's a bit of a learning curve, but it's pretty doable, man. It's I haven't looked at switching back, so.
Can I use an incognito tab to watch pornography on it?
I believe you can, but for the most part, it's already incognito.
Was it the Samsung? Is it the S21? I was looking at
S21 Ultra is the newest one.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Well, Calyx only supports like a limited set of Android devices. The Pixel phones being one of them.
Pixel's good. I'm a Samsung guy, so Note 20 Ultra is what
I
I'm
think
rocking.
there's other OSs you could probably put onto your Samsung.
I dropped a fucking weight on the corner of my fucking phone the other day.
Oh wow,
fucked up.
Whoa.
That's what I get.
I dropped
You
my
didn't use
Samsung off.
protection?
No, he didn't. He never does.
Condoms are for pussies. But no, I do have a screen protector, but it's like a 50-pound dumbbell that just kind of hit the corners.
Oh, dude.
Damn.
Peacock has the thing about Peacock though, Gary, is Peacock has Comcast behind it. So as bad as it is as far as functionality and shit like that, I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. And it's doing well with its free tier. So it's like you don't have to sign up for it to watch stuff on it. That's the plus for a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't know much about Peacock though. We were talking about Apple and Paramount. Peacock is an unfortunately named network owned by another unfortunately named cable company. So Cox owns the Peacock.
Well,
right?
didn't WWE get
Or
rid of their
Comcast, sorry.
WWE
I got it
network
wrong.
to go into
Bad
Peacock?
Did they?
That's a huge mistake. That's
Holy
massive for them,
shit!
though.
Why would they do that?
Peacock's making
Nobody
some
was
inroads
subscribed
though.
to the network. That's why.
So don't count them out yet.
Last I heard, they had like several million, subscriptions. But I mean,
I don't know. They had
because of all the
they
old
had
shit
like
they roll on there.
1.1 million, if that.
Holy
That's
shit.
still a lot considering they get all of that.
Yeah.
And also wait, but don't they have a deal with Fox right now to broadcast on Fox? They're
Oh
still
yeah, they
doing
got
that.
4 billion from Fox for
So
4
it's weird.
years.
It would then go out to because isn't Peacock NBC?
Peacock is NBC, yes. Comcast, yep.
It's
Universal.
Is Peacock an app or is I don't even know what the fuck it is?
Streaming.
Peacock is an app.
Streaming
But
service, right?
it's not as weird as
Okay.
you think, Ryan. I've heard that what's his face from WWE, McMahon or
Vince?
whatever.
Vince McMahon?
He'll fucking license out to anything, I've heard. So if he can make a deal, he'll make it. From what I've heard.
Well, he got a board of directors now, so he doesn't have as much power as he used to. So he has.
He's
dance.
majority shareholder.
Yeah, but he
still
has to do a lot of dancing for him, though.
You can't wrestle that company off him. He's the majority shareholder.
Yeah, Vince is Vince,
so that board's not doing jack shit. He's run the fucking brand to the ground, man.
Kate C, aka Snake Plush Kitten, for $20 says, I am devastated Michael Caine is retiring, but I have to differ about the best role was his Sherlock Holmes movie, Without a Clue.
I liked him in Miss Congeniality. He's good in that.
Blame It on Rio.
Austin Powers and Goldmember.
He was the best part of that movie, that's for sure.
Austin Powers and Goldmember. There you go.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. There's another beaut.
I'm still on the Muppets.
Zulu. I fucking love Zulu. Zulu's an amazing movie.
It actually is. The Ghost of Flea for $5. Thank you for the super sticker.
Bloody
Brightest
Spears
Day
at me.
Brightest Day for $1.99. Very sad news about Joe Biden. He's still president.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
The way the Az announced that,
Brandon.
I swear to God, Michael Caine was dead.
I was like, no.
I have some bad news. Jeremy has been hit by a car. We went to the hospital. The doctors tried everything they could, and he's going to make a full recovery.
That's about how it came out.
Why would you say it that way?
I said it fine. Breaking news: Michael Caine is dead.
His career is dead.
To the world of acting because he's retired. That's not. Jeez, come on, man.
What would make him even cooler than cool is if he come out and said, "Yeah, I just can't deal with all this web crap no more."
Oh, yeah. I'm too old and tired of this.
Yeah,
that would have been
awesome.
Deal with it.
Grab a woman's ass like a tangerine.
What's wrong with grabbing a bottom?
Hail Friday Night Tights. After the Tolkien Society went off the rails this summer, I launched a counter effort in the societyofTolkien.org, and we're hosting another webinar tomorrow in the AM. Please spread the word, says Danger Casey for $13.37.
I hope it's called what? I hope it's called What Are You Talking About?
Oh, I hope it's called Tolkien Likes to Crush Pussy and go to church.
Well, Netflix have just fired the organizer for the trans employee walkout.
Yes.
Interesting.
They did. I heard 1,000 people walked out. You know how I heard
the
that?
employee is black and currently pregnant. Oops.
Oopsie doopsie. Well, don't organize a walkout while you're pregnant with probably your first child. That's another life lesson.
Because you're trying to tell the company that you work for what content they should put when you're quite happy to have fucking cuties on there anyway. So shut the fuck up.
Exactly. And there's those channels. I'm sure they said that there's channels where you can put your input. It's where's the?
It looks like they leave.
Here's the channels right here.
Netflix said we have let go of an employee for sharing confidential, commercially sensitive information outside of the company.
Broke their NDA. Those are important. We don't talk about those enough. When it comes to a lot of the stuff we hear from Hollywood, if we are hearing it from people, they are violating their NDAs. And they could not only lose their job, they could lose their house or their apartment or their car. They're risking a lot to pass some of that stuff. Just to let you know, if you work directly for Disney or Apple or anything, I saw just to visit the set of the Orville. I signed four fucking NDAs. Where was I? On that, you know how I know 1,000 people walked out of the Netflix thing? My son, Nerdrotic Jr., who never messages me, decided to message me in the middle of the show, which was nice. Wow. It was nice to hear from my boy. But he's like, yeah, did you hear about this Netflix thing, Dad? It's totally cool.
Does he call you Nerdrotic?
No, I should make him do that.
I think if random people heard that, they might feel a little weird.
Take it
about
the wrong way.
Call me erotic, son. What?
What was that?
Excuse me.
Dadrotic sounds like a grinder name. That's
My Dadrotic.
I would not use it.
Is that a?
It would make you more popular
is that like a
in
sugar
Hollywood,
daddy or something?
What was the? Oh, come on, Chrissy. What's the joke from Vacation? About my dad kisses. My dad says I'm the best kisser. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's what funny. Klein Dropper for $5 says they have completely changed the Bond commercials to show all Anna de Armas all the time now. Which I'm okay with. I think they figured out their mistake. They did. She was fun and bubbly and a little OP, but who cares? She was fun and bubbly.
She was awesome. I loved her in that. We should have had a whole movie of it.
And
I would have preferred that.
Crushed a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loose Cannon 84 for $2 says Subhumans, Mickey Mouse is dead. I know every word of that song. Sang it all the time when I was in high school.
When I made the comment, I can't remember who said it. When I said this thing about grabbing Mickey's little nuts, somebody said that's why his voice is so high.
Feels good.
Get off my nuts. And then he let go and he's like, oh, thank fuck for that. Jesus Christ.
Sandy Q for $1.49 asked for a hot dog ass. It's been a couple weeks.
What? Swag.
There we go.
This fucking microphone's gonna short out from all the slobbery left on it.
Right?
You're just jealous.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, your microphone's gonna call like the domestic hotline. With domestic abuse. I was deep throated.
It's called show for a reason.
Comics Division ties me up and makes me hit the pavement every day. He literally walks all over me every time he goes outside or wants to kiss his wife. Says Toxic Man Flu for $10.
True story.
What?
We need to know there. Wow.
Anything you want to divulge?
Nope.
Yeah.
I heard it on the internet.
Lots of secrets.
You heard it on the internet. It must be true, folks.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a super hard denial or anything either. You want to say anything about that? Nope.
Nope.
That's not a no.
That's absolutely best, by the way.
Big gulps, huh?
Shut your.
All right.
See you later.
Yep. And I got to correct you, Gary. Got to be a nerd on the whole National Lampoon's thing.
All right, then.
It's Vicky who ends up being on, 30 Rock or whatever later on in life. That is Eddie's daughter, and she's like, I'm going steady, and we French kiss. And then the other one goes, well, everybody does that. She goes, yeah, but Daddy says I'm the best. That's how.
Julian Fabrizio. We are a constitutional republic, not a democracy.
That is
democracy is just mob rule. That's why in the Pledge of Allegiance it says, and to the republic for which it stands. People really need to learn their history or understand it. They didn't pay attention. And you're right, it's not a democracy. And thank God. That would be terrible.
Yeah, mob rule sucks.
So it's not. So wait, it's not to the Republic for Richard stands. That's not like a.
It's close.
Founding father.
For you, Chrissy, yes.
Close enough.
Dick
because Richard is short or as long for Dick. So
Dick stands.
Yeah.
Got some breaking news and more breaking news.
Now what?
Katie Seagal has been hit by a car in LA and taken to the nearest hospital.
Oh wow!
I just saw that trending.
Excited.
I just saw that trending. It literally is like Az wrote this. It says actor Katie Seagal has been hospitalized after being hit by a car in Los Angeles.
Not kidding.
But is expected to make a full recovery.
Yeah, she'll recover.
Yeah.
Might have she missed her pedicure appointment. Yeah.
That is too trippy.
Az, you know anything about that?
Katie Seagal's awesome. She was in Sons of Anarchy. She's actually married to Kurt Sutter, the showrunner. Go ahead, Ryan.
Do you know anything about that British politician who got fucking knifed to death earlier today?
Yeah.
He
died.
No.
Yeah, David Ames or David
Yeah,
Ames.
Sir David Ames.
Yeah.
What happened?
Some Somali
Aside-
refugee stabbed this dude to death.
Whoa.
A politician.
I think that's really going to help their case going forward.
That's just what I saw in reports about a Somali refugee. Just so everyone
Officers
understands.
are quizzing a 25-year-old man as it was revealed counter-terror police are leading the murder probe.
Not well. Yeah.
No, he's
Yeah, it's
South End, which is like down and way down and nowhere near us.
Yeah, I think your country's like as big as my city, so I always have a tough time understanding like how
Well,
many people.
imagine if your city was then broken up into like 25 different counties, and
Yeah. Well, there you go. So that was an actual bad news. Bad news. That guy's
Well,
dead,
okay,
sorry.
if you want to, okay, I'm going to do it then. Tory MP Sir David Ames today was repeatedly stabbed and is expected to make a full recovery, said the coroner who pronounced him dead.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
We're all laughing.
But it would have been way worse if they hadn't been
At least
vaccinated.
he's just a politician.
God forbid it happened to an actor.
Or an
Chrissie-
activist.
Or an activist.
Yeah, right.
Chrissie Smollett is working on that.
Chrissie Mayr's boobs.
Oh, no.
Victorious boobs. It should be victorious boobs. Have sent a $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Says hail to underwear model Chris Gore.
Really?
That's why he's on the show.
Boo to our oppressor, Chrissie Mayr. Intro equals genius. We laughed so hard, milk came out of our nipples. Hashtag free us. Chrissie Mayr's boobs. Yeah, wow. A little
That's kinda
lactation
gross.
going on there. A little celebration and lactation. That's never good. That's never good. East.
She's wearing a dark shirt, so you can't tell.
Yeah, I'm about to throw on a sweater if those two keep it up.
Yeah. Keep it between your. Well, I guess they do all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like literally. So.
So
Hey.
if you're just joining us, everyone, we are early, but Gary will be going on Tim Pool later this evening, and we're really excited for him. Chrissie Mayr she was trying, she fucked it all up. So let's try that one more time.
Keep
Gary
talking.
will be appearing on Tim Pool. There we go.
Oh, am I supposed to hang on?
No.
I gotta.
Go.
All right.
Oh no.
That was
a
awful.
disaster.
Yeah.
No. God damn it! Where did it go?
Hey!
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
It's like
So,
Chrissy's
yes.
like, I can't believe I selected the one that says "gay man" slowly says "yay," and it didn't give me what I wanted.
Yeah.
They all say cheering.
The most impressive thing about today is that even though Gary moved up the show to be early, he still found a way to be late. That's the most
did.
important
And
aspect
as
of
a
it.
good
So-
boss, I will take full responsibility.
Yes,
But,
yeah, so it's pretty awesome.
what
What happened
let's
as?
It's my Friday night tights alarm.
Hurry up and
Evan
get
S
there.
on the sorry, that was wrong side there because that's not reporting. Oh my God, this is terrible. It's very difficult to go off of one screen on this show.
Yeah,
Gotta
one
can't
monitor
travel with
sucks.
them.
If
Yeah,
anyone's
like
confused in the audience, by the way, one actor's retired, one got hit by a car, one politician's dead. That's the way it's working out. at the
That's where
moment.
you're talking. And I'm in a hotel room. I'm not at the
Yes.
Tim Cast compound. I am at a
Not
hotel
yet.
room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not there yet. Ryan, get that video we're gonna play here in a bit. Damn vast
Yeah.
video.
Ale Friday Night Tights. It's the MO of totalitarian authoritarianism, fuckwits, to criminalize everyone so they can be ruined at at a moment's notice, to keep everyone in fear of catching the eye of the state. This is why they are crucifying John Gruden. Great to see Az back. Says wise old elf for $10. Well said.
But what
Yes.
color are you?
Yes. I mean, we all got to identify at this point right now.
Because if you're a white elf, I don't give a shit about your
Right.
welcome back.
You're-
But if you're a
you're-
brown elf, thank
Your
you.
white elf privilege.
I'm an ally.
Yes. John Gruden. That's a sports ball thing, but it's pretty
Kind
fucking
of transcends. It kind of transcends sports in a lot
Yeah.
of ways because it's absolutely bullshit what happened. John Gruden did nothing wrong. John Gruden is guilty of being a straight white male. That's what he's guilty of being. Because if you believe that an NFL locker room that these players don't talk like that and say that shit behind the scenes, he got private emails leaked because they had a vendetta against him. They wanted to make an example. Now they're caught up to how many emails is it, Ryan? 650,000 or something like that?
What?
Emails.
Yep.
There's 650,000 emails, and they plucked a couple of emails from him that were leaked. But now the NFL's under fire because now they're like, well, then we would need to see the rest of these. And all these NFL executives like, oh, we're not releasing
Oh,
them.
no. Well, I did call that one guy. Oh, I mean, no. Mine
Exactly, because they're all pieces of shit. And but these are like from 10 years ago. I mean, it was spanned of several years.
There's some that were from 10 years ago, all the way up to like 2017. He was not the head coach of the Raiders until 2018, I believe. This is why he was working at ESPN. John Gruden was using his like private email. Probably like John Gruden, like John Gruden 69 at gmail.com, right? Like that's probably what he was fucking under. And he just happened to be emailing somebody who was in the Washington Redskins organization, now the Washington football team, because that's not offensive now. But it's absolutely insane. Every single player in the NFL, every single media member, every single fucking person talking about this over the past decade has used a word in private between friends in a private conversation, text, DMs, whatever, that you probably wouldn't say out to the general public. That's just the way it is. So this is Pandora's box if you determine that those type of actions can have these types of repercussions. The NFL has motherfuckers who beat the shit out of women, right? Not just accused, convicted of these things that are playing in the NFL, and that's fine. But because I used words that might hurt someone's feelings in a private conversation, this man is fired.
Never mind the
not just fired.
dogfighting ring that some NFL player had.
Yeah, not just fired though. They've removed his likeness from video games. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have removed him from their championship winning. They got Warren fucking Sapp as part of that. You just fucking signed Richard Sherman. You've got Antonio Brown. Like. The hypocrisy is out of control, and it's all that first they came for Alex Jones. That's what we kept fucking telling you. First
Ray
they
Lewis
came for Alex Jones.
killed a guy. Ray Lewis killed a guy, and Rice, I can't remember his first name. Ray Rice. Remember when Ray Rice? We knew he was beating women, and like nobody cared, but it was until when we saw a fucking video.
Right.
Like that's what ruined the guy. Is we saw like what that hitting a woman entailed. It was fucking him smacking the shit out of her.
Yeah, she did spit on him, so
whatever. I mean, like, that is like there's a bunch of dudes currently in the NFL right now who are beating the shit out of women, beating the shit out of like broken laws. And what Jeremy said, he's a dude. He was just being a dude talking like dudes talk. Every coach better quit right now.
Wow.
Like, no,
what did he say
Babylon
exactly?
Babylon B the other day said, "Let me." But it
Kevin
was so
Sorbo
funny.
tweeted it out.
What the Babylon B?
Yeah, like every coach should quit because like fucking wait a minute, like who leaked the emails for one?
I think it was people in the NFL. They're the only ones that had access to it. I think they specifically leaked it because when they gave this information to the Raiders didn't fire John Gruden. Mark Davis didn't fire John Gruden, and they let him coach the next day. Then the following Monday, more emails got leaked, and the NFL, Mark Davis has said, listen, I don't have any comment other than ask the NFL. They know what's going on.
Well,
So
share my screen.
It was the commissioner. What a fucking
Roger Goodell. He's a piece of shit. So
Goodell's
this is right
piece
here.
of shit.
NFL removes all coaches, players, fans who have ever said a bad word.
Oh, yeah.
Tebow remains. That's
the only way Tebow could get on a roster.
That's the truth, though. All of these people say this shit. All of them. The fact that you're trying to create this utopia that only like we have to, dehumanize people over saying a bad word in private. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody's buying that shit. But if you want more on that, you can go to Sports Wars.
Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. These are the types of people that are performing at the halftime of the Super Bowl. Why don't you go through some of their lyrics? See, NFL, see if that aligns with your values.
Yeah.
It's fucking garbage.
Yeah.
No, it's somebody in the commissioner's office or the commissioner himself wanted to get rid of John Gruden. Didn't like him. Wanted him out of the league and got what they wanted. They found a way.
Found evidence to get him out.
What they're doing right now is it would be the equivalent of Gary saying we can't have Ryan on the show anymore because he said a bad word. And then everybody's like, we all fucking say bad words. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yep.
Like,
now,
you know,
Jeremy, can you prove it though? I mean, that's
I'll defend
because I deleted all of my emails.
Well, that's just it. They'll go from that to something like, oh, well, he got the job because of white privilege. It'll be whatever else they can start pushing people out for.
Yeah, this goes to everyone. Like, stop fucking, make your email. Everybody's going to see every message you write from here until the end of time. That's how you need to write every message. Everybody's going to see it.
I think the situation is chilling.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have used.
Was that Chris?
I just think this situation with Gruden is really chilling, and people are
It is.
underestimating how important it is because it opens a can of worms that cannot be closed. Right? You can't put now that that's the precedent that they set. Does everybody fit that standard? And we unequivocally know that nobody fits that standard. Everyone has said something in private and or in an email that was probably stupid, right? Or tweeted it, and it's like now you just
especially if taken out of context.
And it's like, I have a friend who used to be a sports agent, and he just told me that basically everyone in the NFL is pretty much, they're either criminals or they're super religious. And he said there are very few people in the middle that are kind of just like balanced, regular human beings. It's these extremes, and it's kind of insane. He got out of the business. He was just like, I can't take it. But I just think that now that they've done this, they've set themselves up. Are people going to be looking at Roger Goodell and things that he said in private and whatnot? Like, I don't know. It's sick. It's sick. And I don't know.
It's like the male version of a Me Too, it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And
Like
I think
this is the cancellation. This is
the selective cancellation.
Yeah.
What do you guys think this tip of the iceberg? Like they're going to start going after a lot of people now. And
possibly,
I hope so.
Unless what you guys were saying happens.
Well, I say I hope so. Sorry, Tom. I don't want them to go after people, but what I want them to do is get the hypocrites and the people that are pushing this nonsense and get them eaten alive by it. In reality, nobody should be fired for mean words. They should be hired and fired based on their job performance. That's it.
Yeah,
that's
especially when it's mean words from years ago
in a private fucking
when you weren't
email.
even working. Yeah, for one, it should be again. Yeah, that's where you should be punished. Sharing fucking somebody's private email public, there needs to be a punishment for that. Because I mean, aside from it being completely bitch made, I'm like, out of rare circumstances, should you be sharing a DM public? Only if you fucking got that person's permission or like your life is on based on it. But other than that, it's the most bitch made fucking. That is fucking Twitter. Social media has turned every man into a 14-year-old girl. It's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't want this to come back onto you, but I've just shared something which is I did tweet that out.
You did.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Big black cocks.
Looks like you're gonna have a busy night.
Oh god.
I hope this doesn't get out. I really
Told
do.
you you're going to be popular.
As that is impressive, but your jaw's going to be sore, buddy. Oh man.
I got that jaw.
Gary, do you want a palate cleanser from that fucking cursed?
Oh
image?
yes, please.
What do you mean, cursed? Unbelievable.
We missed you so much. Ass.
This is Dan Vast's latest video. Dan Vast, All Hail Friday Night Tights music video featuring you. So a lot of people submitted, put their submissions in to Dan Vast, and I think Perry helped edit this together. And so why don't we watch 2 minutes and 14 seconds of All Hail Friday Night Tights with a bunch of you guys in it as well. I will say before it starts, there's a suspicious amount of women in this. That's all I'll say. So 6%, whatever the number is, you guys showed up for this. So congratulations. Quarter black.
Here they come, and the crowd cannot wait.
Aw.
I apologize because I'm probably late.
Was that a female Dan Vasc?
Aw.
It's Friday Night Tights, Friday Night Tights.
Oh, hell yeah.
I love those dino costumes.
There's my winner, the dinosaurs.
Ah, brightest
I
day.
love the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Damn.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Go Skeletor! I can't help but think that was for me.
Oh, that's great.
Time has come, they are finally here. Oh, Friday night. Created just so we're clear.
Whee.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Aw.
Sweet mother,
Somebody better smash a fucking guitar.
Shit,
Ah, that was
didn't even think
fucking
of that. That is amazing.
Awesome. That is fucking awesome. I loved it. Oh.
Very drunk by the black belt.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Hunter Biden loves it too.
Little Hunty.
Oh, hang on. There we go. Little Hunty likes it.
It's like my favorite.
Did he come with a little crack pipe?
Got some crack.
Oh yeah. Came with
That's a loaded question, Gary.
So many
I
accessories.
just wanted to show it off.
the tiniest of tiny little crack. Oh, sorry, my manicure. So small.
That is.
You can only see it. Tiny cigarettes, Lucky Strike, and Marlboro. God, you really can't see it.
Do they
So
even still
detailed.
make Lucky Strike?
Yes.
Yes.
The laptop. Oh, there
The
it is.
laptop. The
It's
other
a
one,
laptop. We
The
found it.
infamous
The other one we
They
lost.
shrunk it. How did they shrink it?
Map of the Ukraine.
Dad.
Oh god, that's hilarious.
Laptop.
Got some crack.
I fucking
And-
loved you, bitch.
God, the amount of detail. Yeah, shout out to
Wow.
Andy Masterson.
Yeah, Andy's crazy.
Yeah, Andy's amazing.
Natural
Yeah.
Ukrainian natural gas for dummies.
oh
Can you read it?
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh, my
And
God.
on the back, in the tiniest of tiny font, it says other titles you might enjoy: Chinese corruption for dummies, polygamy for dummies, filming yourself with hookers for dummies. So
That is
tiny.
amazing.
Cocaine use for
Nice.
dummies, Parmesan cheese for dummies, laptop
Ooh.
laptop repair shop for dummies, crack pipes for dummies, paternity tests for dummies, and changing adult diapers for dummies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that fucking
Tiny
wins
little
right
money.
there.
Tiny little
Oh, look at that. That's
dollars.
what money's actually worth now. So
That's awesome.
Yeah. Where'd it go? Oh, it fell. Yeah.
the crack pipe.
The
Yeah,
crack
don't
pipe
lose-
is here.
don't
Hold
lose
on,
crack
there's
pipe.
more. And
Let's
he got
go,
his little
Brandon.
tattoos down, like
Oh
perfectly.
wow.
The finger
Oh.
leg tattoos or whatever that
He
is.
did that on my action figure too.
And then
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Did need
And-
changing?
no.
And I don't.
The scarf,
Christie
the
Mayr
little
just
shoe.
rimmed Hunter Biden.
Chrissy
Just-
is a rimmer.
And like
confirmed.
there's it's not that. It's just regular.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like a
Does he have
physical.
Does he have a
He's got a
stain in his
bum.
underwear?
Yes.
Ah, that's awesome. That's fucking great. Oh, that's great. Mr. Masterson.
Mr.
Yeah.
Masterson.
Mr. Masterson.
Oh, that was good.
This is the sound of inevitability.
Yes.
But Dan's video is awesome. It was awesome to see so many people people rocking out to that, man. And I thought it was really cool. So shout out to Dan, shout out to Perry Chan, and shout
to
out
all
to
of you.
Friday Night Tights and you guys.
Fucking awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah.
That was cool.
Where was I?
Not sure.
We were talking about John Gruden.
Is Gary's camera slowly kind of just moving up?
Yeah,
it's like falling off to death.
Falling. There we go. It's because I'm trying to go off one screen. Sorry. It's like slowly going away.
Is it weird? Oh, you're like adjusting the laptop. Okay, I'm like,
yeah, I'm adjusting. Well, I'm trying to like see 5 things at once that I usually can do. This is why I have 4 monitors at home. So I'm going off one here, and no X-Ray Girl today. So that's making it kind of fun too.
X-Ray Girl does so like I know you guys here and fucking everybody likes seeing X-Ray Girl on the show. You're like, why don't you talk? She's doing so much shit throughout the entire thing. When we were in Boston and I like just sat next to her when I wasn't talking, I was just like watching, like, holy shit, she's like working through the entire process. It almost made me respect her.
No, no, dude. Like we were driving around, me and him, and he was like, "Man, X-Ray Girl just does so much," and I'm like, "Fuck's wrong with you? Complimenting her in private, even? Like, wow, this is weird."
And then he was like,
really
"Well,
been
for
impressed.
a girl,
I was like, "You must have really been impressed." Wow.
Yeah. Almost
He's
up
like,
to the level of a man doing it.
I was just gonna say, he's like almost as good as a man, but not quite. Yeah.
Almost.
It's like Simu Liu level of performance. Like just good enough to make $1, Shang-Chi.
I love that there's a few people out there that just love Simu because they think it makes us mad, which is hilarious. Where was I? Fucking A.
He's just lucky I can pronounce his name.
His movie was profitable. Mahler won the bet. I think it was made $25 million. Really, really good for a Marvel blockbuster film there.
According to them.
According to them, by the way.
They or...
I have no idea. Thunderstorm for $4.99. Oh shit! I just lost it. Hang on.
No, you lost a long time ago.
That's what you get for
As a 6 foot tall, blue-eyed white guy, they said I'm subhuman and superior simultaneously. Just want to watch a movie. What movie was that?
Any movie.
Thunderstorm.
Just any movie.
Just any movie.
Thank you, Thunderstorm. Yeah. Elfin Jedi for $187 for $5 says, what was so looking forward to the Lord of the Rings show, but now I am not so sure. Been studying Tolkien and his world for over 20 years. Screw woke PC culture.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There would have been, we talked about this a few months back, but if you went into 2021 and just forget wokeness ever existed, right? Just it never existed. And you heard that they're going to do a Vision and Scarlet Witch TV show or a Loki TV show, or they're going to do a Lord of the Rings TV show. We'd be fucking stoked.
Yep.
We'd be so happy. We'd have fucking a nerd would. But now it's just like, oh God, no. And Lord of the Rings is pretty much the last franchise standing. I was asked earlier in the week, what's left? And I'm like, as far as movies, film, and TV, I don't know. Not much. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of video game franchises to fuck up, but I wouldn't know those.
Well, there's plenty of movies from the 80s and 90s that could be remade to be more, appropriate for modern cinema or whatnot.
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
They could reboot Back to the Future with a strong female lead where she almost fucks her dad. That
I seen that porno.
Did that? Oh, was that Axel Braun did that?
Probably. Now he's writing it down. He's like, fuck, that's a good idea.
Very accurate in his recreations, adult recreation. No, they'll never do Back to the Future. God,
I hope not. That one lock and key. I don't think Bob Zemeckis will let that happen.
No. Yeah. But there's very few safe now, right? In terms of franchise.
That is true.
So I don't know. How do people feel about, like, I don't know if anyone's pointed this out or discussed or done a video about the fact that going forward there will be no more Stan Lee cameos in Marvel movies, and I don't know. That just makes me really sad, just as someone who, I mean, he was my hero growing up, and
they could deep fake him if they want to do that.
But they're not.
God.
Also,
no.
I think they've done enough with the corpse of Stan Lee. Just leave him.
I completely agree, but you know, they're probably going to start CGing him.
I don't know if it would be appropriate, but like I do know that when they do his cameos, they'll shoot several to be used in films, and I know that they didn't use in the original Thor, where like Stan Lee was supposed to. He's actually, I mean, I don't know if you remember the first Thor. Where,
he's the guy in the truck, right?
Right. So originally, and they did shoot this, he's driving down a road, he sees the hammer in the road, gets out of his car, picks it up, and tosses it aside. They obviously didn't use that one, but
that would be great. I love that one.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is this thing?
I only know that because I knew Max, his bodyguard, from back in the day, and he would just tell me stuff. I'm like, don't tell me this stuff. And he's just from going to like Frankensons. I don't know if you know Frankensons, Gary. It's in the IE, Inland Empire. It's just like a swap meet every weekend. It's like, you know, just the merch part of Comic-Con, selling old comics and whatnot. You would love Frankensons, actually. So Stan Lee would do signings there. I'd see him. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it feels weird. Like that. There's that one trailer they released sort of about Marvel Phase 4 where they went through all the like dates and whatnot. And it's Stan Lee doing the voice. I don't even know if that's him. Did he really say that, or is it a deep fake voice? Because they can do that.
No, that was from like an older video.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
They
That
did
was
that
like
with
2017, I believe.
They did that with Anthony Bourdain. There were a couple lines in that documentary, Roadrunner, about him where they deep faked his voice. But I got chills watching that. I was like, because it's Stan Lee, that's why. So
You know what the backstory behind that basically that cameo or voiceover that he had?
No.
It was a response to what was going on with Comicsgate at the time, where they basically said to Stan Lee, hey, a bunch of bigots are complaining about diversity or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so he recorded this video, and basically Marvel was using him as a shield at that point.
Right.
Stan Lee had no idea what was going on or what we were complaining about at the time. But they basically said, hey, a bunch of people are being bigots, make a video. And that's what they clipped. So they took that and they put it into that release video or that promo video, whatever the fuck it's called.
But I don't know. Like, it's just weird to see movie. I mean, it's not going to be in Eternals. I still think, I don't know, they keep releasing way too much about Eternals now. It feels desperate to me.
No, because it is. It's a shitty movie.
Isn't the pre-ticket sales meant to be above that of Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
Shang-Ching, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, pre-sale tickets for James Bond were above Venom. It just depends on the audience and like who you're targeting specifically. But I think that, to your point, Chris, I would feel a lot differently about it if these movies weren't absolute fucking dog shit. But since these movies are absolute fucking dog shit, I'm happy Stan Lee's not around to be a part of it. That's like my genuine feelings on it, because it's just so far removed from everything, and it's only getting worse. That I'm happy that Stan Lee's not a part of that. That's not like a draw for me to want to go see it because of that.
It just made me sick when I saw within days of him dying that people were, you know, pointing out his whiteness as a way to discredit him.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. It was on the day he died. Never mind a few days. The day he died.
Yeah.
It was horrifying. George. Sorry,
I don't give a shit if the people in the next.
Gary's doing something with some guy named George. They're going to be thinking next.
That's what they think. I just yelled in the hotel room. I don't give a shit.
I thought he went in there with a wife.
Well, you didn't see her on camera, did you? So you don't really know.
You don't know.
God, thank you. I miss my soundboard so much. I should have just packed it. Fuck. You live, you learn. I need to like just bring another monitor. Like this is just not working in any way, shape, or form. Thank you, George. Let's. I gotta.
You're
try to read
gay.
this.
Got 3 of them there.
Who'd you call gay? Did you call George gay?
I said you're gay.
Oh, okay. You're gay. I thought you said you are gay. You're gay. Like, oh, okay.
You're gay. Yeah.
You're gay. As fear is the father of hate, and imagination is the mother of hope. In a time of forced despair and division, only bright hearts and busting Brown will shape. Does that say Brown? Brawn Braun. I was like, why would it say brown? But I can't read this shit. Sorry.
Brown
We'll
is Hunter Biden's nappy.
Yes, exactly. We'll shape our shields and sharpen our hope-filled hearts into the strength to tear down the darkness and let in the light. Thank you, George.
Hell yeah,
George.
Hell yeah, George.
Wow.
Thank you.
Hey, George has got 3 up there.
Yeah. I'm
Ladies.
going to try to highlight them since I can at least highlight them. I can do that. And then we've got another.
George! Sorry, I'm late. Okay. Back.
George. Sorry, it was a nervous tick.
Hang on. You guys are gonna have to do a lot of vamping for me tonight because I'm like, trying to concentrate on stuff, and it seems like you're sitting around and waiting for me to talk.
It's kind of
Gary,
feels
I
like
can't-
business is
Hey,
usual.
the other time we're talking over each other.
Chat
So,
time. We didn't want to interrupt.
I can read it if you want. I've
I was
got
gonna
it.
say, one of us could probably read it for you.
Hearing somebody on Friday Night Tights say they don't want to interrupt makes me want to punch you all, and not the guests, just my co-hosts. Are you fucking kidding me?
I didn't want to.
When leftists say inclusive, they mean prejudice. Equity means discrimination. Justice means revenge, and gender means insanity. In the time of the Squid, SJW, Susie Saviors, and Daniel Craig's. Sorry, out of the closet, Rainbow. I've got somebody in the hotel room, right? I thought they were waving at me, but they weren't. Daniel Craig out of the closet. Let me start over.
I would love to see. I would love to see Tim Pool walk into your hotel room and say, "Hey, Gary, it's time to go."
Yeah,
right.
Tim Pool like in a towel, like Gary, wrap it up.
He's got a towel, but he's still got the beanie on.
Yeah. Beanie's in the shower.
The towel might go, but the beanie stays.
Being a rubber
I'm
ducky.
gonna have to super chat that tonight to Tim. You wear the beanie in the shower.
Yeah, I'll start that over, George. Sorry. So this too. This is for $200, George.
George.
Yes. There we go. When left, oh, that was good too. Leftists say inclusive, they mean prejudice. Equity means discrimination. Justice means revenge, and gender means insanity. In the time of the Squid, SJW, Susie Saviors, and Daniel Craig out of the closet. Rainbow wrapped pecker are packed into sheep steeples. Worshipping. God dang it, I cannot see. Worshipping ballless beta males. Thank you. I got through that. Now, thank you, George. Daniel Craig says he likes to go to gay bars.
Gay bars, yes.
To
prey on straight women.
Yeah. To prey on straight women who are trying to run from toxic masculinity.
No, he said I like to go to gay bars because I fucking adore cock.
Because I like cock. Yeah. Because I just like to have gay sex with men.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he likes to go to gay bars. Either way, we're not judging. We're just pointing something out.
Yeah. You don't have to make an excuse up, Daniel.
Yeah. If you like to go to gay bars
the 2020s, man.
To meet gay guys, to have gay sex, that's fucking cool.
I actually think he's being honest, and that's almost like worse. Like, you
know
what I mean? Like, I think that's actually just what he does. And
Yeah.
It's just so sad.
I just like to dance.
He says he basically said there's not as much of the toxic masculinity dude bro energy. You're not getting into fights with dudes there. It's like
The people still get in fights at bars.
Bars you go to, Daniel. You know,
well, gay bars.
Probably with Liam Neeson or something.
I mean, there's no fights, it's sword fights, you know.
He also he's also been married to Rachel Weisz, right? He's married to Rachel Weisz.
They are still married
for like 10 years at least.
Yeah.
So he's probably talking about in the past. So I don't know what the fuck this guy's story is, but it'd be less embarrassing if he was just like, "Yeah, I'm gay. I go to gay bars."
This is why they're adult pretenders.
what?
They just when they get off script, they're not really sure where the words go and what they mean. They just put them together and hopefully they make sense. They're words they've heard before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Ryan. It's like it makes it sound worse when you're like, well, yeah, I just like to get rid of the, toxic male, the actual masculine competition, so it makes it easier to prey on women.
That's what he said.
That's why there's a lot of bridge and tunnel people. The bridge and tunnel crowd go to San Francisco to go party it up with all the straight women who can't get any because they're in San Francisco and half the male population is gay, or 40%. I think it's 40%.
What?
It's a fucking big
New York
number.
City, it's 90%.
Yeah. They canceled Halloween and hauled a kitty sniffer into the Oval Office. But today is a great day. Biden's polls are crashing. Texas buried mandatory jabs. Let's go, Brandon lives. And it's international, by the way. Has returned, and Nerdrotic is heading to the pool. All hail Friday Night Tights. Hail Chris Gore. All hail Nerdrotic. Love you, brother. Thank you, George. Thank you for the $200. Love you, man. George.
Thank you, George. Man.
We totally need like a song about George in the style of the Bee Gees. As
Guys,
hey, there you go.
Vamp for just a moment, please.
I want
just a moment.
Okay, shout out to Alex in the chat. Might be planning a UK tour, which would be super cool. So,
are you really?
Yeah, I don't know where in the UK Alex lives, but he hit me up about doing a tour over there. So I don't know.
Nice.
We'll see if I can get over there without getting yobbed.
Well, I know a lot of people.
Stabbed.
Yeah.
a lot of people have
kidnapped.
been asking me and Gary about this whole Orlando deal, and me and Gary, as soon as he gets back home, we're actually going to start really planning that out. It's a ways away, so we're trying to we're going to have something for you in the next few weeks, hopefully, where we can at least give you guys some basic details. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot going on, and so much excitement with all the meetups we've been doing and all the hangouts. It's absolutely phenomenal how much people have rallied around us and supported us. Gary's back. No, he's not. No, he's not. He said, fuck y'all. He said, fuck y'all.
Somebody in the chat said gay bars have the best finger food.
Oh my god!
I know it's the best fingering food.
Maybe it's a typo. I don't know.
I wish I was queer so I could get.
I would like to go to that.
No.
Jeremy, I would like.
wish I was gay so I could get sandwiches.
Well, Chrissie, do you want to go to the Orlando meetup?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, we want you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might need to look for a place.
Were you talking about that, Jeremy?
Yeah. I told
You're
everybody
talking
in the
about-
next. I told everybody once you get back home, me and you're gonna start at least getting some basic, ideas as to what we're gonna do, and hopefully in the next few weeks you can give them something in terms of a time frame of what we're gonna do. So because everybody's asking about it, everybody's asking Gary about it, me about it. So we're working it out as best
I'm
we
gonna
can.
be in Miami. March 10th through 12th with Comedians of the Compound. That's all I have for Florida so far.
Why haven't you done more Florida shit?
Yeah,
I did Florida shit. I was there, May?
Just like 6 months ago.
Well,
yeah, Ryan didn't live there. We didn't know
Okay.
you that well then. What the hell?
True.
But
All right.
Ryan and Jeremy, what is it like in Florida right now? Like I recently went to Arizona.
Cold.
It's so different than California, where I know the places you can go where no one gives a shit. They sort of tend to follow the rules, but none of the bartenders
wasn't that the theme tune for what's it, Majiggy? Fuck.
What?
What is it? What'd you say?
Wasn't that the theme tune for Cheers that they decided not to go with?
What?
Sometimes you want to go where nobody gives a shit.
Nobody knows your name.
Everybody knows your name. Look, as far as I go through, they know my name. But also, all the
If we
bartenders.
get rid of the don't give a shit and change it, we got something going here.
But
Well,
they-
Florida. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Like,
Go ahead.
because here it's just, and people are, I mean, I got into it with a guy. No, I'm not going to detail too much, but it's like people are fucking afraid here. I'm like, we're outside.
That's what they're trying to do.
You don't have to wear a mask outside. The CDC even said that, you don't have to wear a mask outside. I don't know if there are keywords I shouldn't say, please, but
No, you're fine so far, man.
We're just not doctors.
We've already said that.
We're not
anyway.
doctors.
Yeah.
Right, but what
I'm
I'm
a
saying,
love doctor.
it's unbelievable. It's like Stockholm syndrome here. It's
It is.
Yeah.
creepy. It's like I don't know. It's freaking weird. It's like the Body Snatchers. That's what it's like. It's like the Body Snatchers.
It's like politeness and fear. It's in New York City too. It's like I am shocked at how many people still wear them outside.
Well, I blame a lot of the governors and the mayors because they're the ones that continue to instill fear into people. If you look at the red states, they're doing the exact opposite. It's the reason why there's no mask mandates here and no jab mandates here. It's very much how it was kind of before the pandemic for the most part. Occasionally, you'll see a sign saying it's recommended to wear a mask. There's still a lot of people that do wear them inside. And occasionally you'll see somebody outside doing it, but the majority of the people just don't give a fuck anymore.
Over the past 2 months, I obviously drove from San Diego all the way across, then up to Indiana, then all the way down to Florida. Then me and Jeremy went all the way up the East Coast. So with the exception of the Pacific Northwest, I've basically been across the entire fucking country over the past 2 months. And it varies wildly from not only state to state, but city to city. We witnessed it in Boston, Jeremy, where like depending on what like township we were in Boston, it was like either super fucking strict, or in Massachusetts, it was super strict, or no one gave a shit. So it very much is dependent upon like your local regulations. I would say if people aren't making you, the majority of times, I would say, you know, like 80% of people will not wear one unless there's mandated to.
Yeah. It's fear mongering is what it is.
Well,
That's
I mean,
what's
like
driving a lot of it.
I said, you know, when I went to New York, you know, I had an expectation it was going to be absolutely insane. Now, again, it wasn't great at all. It was not good. I mean, I was able to go into several places. The fucking Hershey store, the Reese's store, fuck you. Like, my God, they put you in a little box when you walk into the Hershey store. Oh my God, they put you in like this little box. Like you walk in the door and they're like, okay, here's the rules. Now you can't let your mask down below your nose. God. You can't do this. I was like, what the fuck? But like most places aren't that crazy. Most places that I experienced were, if it looked too crazy, I just wouldn't go in. But most places, like I try to force people to tell me to wear a mask. You know what I mean? Like, and if they do, I will. Much as I think it's stupid, but
I like to be forced.
But getting back as I get back after spending a couple of weeks up there, getting back to Florida, I was like, God, it's so great to be back here because I don't have to worry about it anymore. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to go, do I have my stupid mask with me? Yeah. You know, I don't have to worry about it here. If other people want to do it, if other people want to do it, that's fine. There are occasional people here that still wear masks, and that's fine. You do whatever you want. But for me, I don't have to worry about it in any stores I go in here. And that's the best part of it.
Yeah, same here.
Well, I went and I bought a bunch of these things called fake mask. You can get it fake mask.
They're basically like sheer panties you put on your face.
Yeah. I think I showed when Chrissie interviewed me on her podcast, I showed it to her. Every bartender in LA is wearing them now. I think I have one. Because you can hear, right? Like, and I've given them to friends. You can breathe perfectly in it. And it looks from the outside, if you look at it, it just looks like you have a black mask on.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Are those your panties or your mask?
Literally, you can breathe, but in certain light, if you're in a dark bar, you can't tell. And I know like all these bartenders wearing them because they need to be able to speak, you know, in a loud club or bar situation. So that thing has blown up, and they keep trying to shut down the website. They've had like 3 different URLs that they keep having to hop to. So I bought a bunch of them, and I just finally started to notice like, a ton of people are wearing these now.
Right. So, it's about as effective as a normal fucking regular mask that you're gonna fucking put on. So
exactly.
Well, no, it looks like a do-rag.
Listen. You know, I know we joke around and everything, but like, when I was driving in the vehicle with, you know, me, Ryan, and Jay all the way up the East Coast, like we all farted, but luckily we were all wearing pants, so no one smelled anything. It was great, you know. So I mean, it was awesome. It was so great knowing like if everybody farts in the truck, hey, they're all wearing pants, so can't get to us. So
like less droplets, you know,
fewer droplets. I know. Just like it's the attitude. I mean, the attitude here was never great, just because people are mostly full of shit, and you kind of notice when you meet people that like right away who's full of shit, who isn't. But it's now worse because now everyone's just sort of emboldened to be some freaking hall monitor about exactly how you should live your life. Yeah. And I hated that forever, and I can't deal with it. Like I'm actually like I've reached my breaking point where like that's why like just Gary watching your story and you know what you've had to go through. I admire so much, and I'm like, I just don't know what to do. I'm kind of stuck, right? Like,
dude, get the fuck out of California.
I know, and all these dumb rules with the gender neutral toy aisles. How about work on like, get the fucking homeless, get them out of the streets, right? Yeah. Get them at least.
They benefit from that though. That's the thing that's so crazy about it. They benefit from those fucking homeless camps,
right?
Because
they make money.
Wow. They get money for it.
That's why it's not going away. It's a business, right? So, but it's sickening to me. They're focusing on the wrong things. so I don't know. I'm just like California. I remember before I moved here, I remember thinking how great California was because you could make a right turn on a red light, and that was a new thing. And that idea
sounds fun.
And you know what? The legalization of marijuana, that's a good thing, right? I feel like as someone who I had an uncle who died from AIDS, and he had to get pot illegally, which helped with the drugs that he took. So there are good ideas that used to come out of California, but not anymore. Those days are dead and gone.
No, now they set up all the bad ideas for the rest of the country.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
It just makes me sick. And this thing that I don't know why there's not more outrage about this. Every $600 exchange, that's meant to oppress people who basically get paid in cash. Waiters, waitresses, bartenders, right? Like they're
hookers,
all of that.
Hardworking Americans like hookers.
Small business owners.
Where's the outrage?
Well, it's because the government wants to cut.
Because the team everybody should be outraged about this. They are going to be now watching your every purchase. Forget $600. It's every one. It's just those are the ones they can afford to monitor from now on. And it's a way. I forgot the guy's name. He looked like, some stoner he had some stuff on his grill and he was smoking a cigarette, and people were passing around Twitter yesterday, and he was like saying, hey, when your credit cards don't work anymore and when the bank starts fucking up, that's when shit's about to go down. Well, that kind of happened last year. Banks were having weird, like when do you remember banks closing early or having, weird hours, or getting to a bank and saying it's understaffed? We can't, you won't be able to access your money. They put a spending limit on the bank I went to. I had to bitch to get it taken off. Now I thought it was because years ago I had to go through a bankruptcy because, the whole drugs and everything. But, they put a $3,000 spending limit on my card. If I had more than that in there, they wouldn't let me unless I fucking called and asked them. There should be no limits on our money. It's because a lot of times the banks don't have a ton of cash in there and they want to control your fucking money. So when you're going to start saying they want to get away from cash, like big time.
Yeah, they do. Wow. Look at the modern monetary theory. It's pretty frightening.
Yeah. It's bad. So that stuff's already happening. What Chris is saying, like, it's here. The shit's here. We're like, I think a lot of us, I'll keep it nice. A lot of us are expecting somebody to come in and save us and somebody to come in and change this. It's not, we have to do it.
We do.
It's now our job. And it's not good.
Yeah, because Superman is gay now, so we have to save ourselves.
James Bond is dead. Superman is gay. James Bond is dead.
Superman's busy sitting in a gay bar with James Bond. Yep.
And protesting climate change.
Climate change on Twitter.
I wish I had a Superman that punched clouds for me.
Right.
I don't know if you follow Zuby or Zuby Music. I'm pretty sure had him on the podcast. He's just a guy that he's not politically. He's just like, I just speak common sense.
Yeah,
that's all I do. Common sense. He was saying that he thinks that all of this is on purpose. That the stuff that's happening in New York and LA is on purpose. Probably the only thing. It's probably just drive down property. Property values. It just feels very nefarious.
Because it is, man. I think a lot of it, there's several different factors behind it. But one of them is to basically cow the populace. A scared population is a lot easier to control.
And this thing, I don't even know if we can talk about some of this stuff. I'm going to be.
We can, but we got to dip pretty soon. So because of 10 minutes. Yes. Okay. Here we go.
He has to go get his beanie ready.
I got to get my beanie ready.
10 minutes till Tim time.
The rest of the amazing fellowship and panel, because all of you make one incredible, funny, moist tangerine. All hail the chat. All hail Gary, Jeremy, Az, Comics, Tom, Chrissie, and Ryan. All hail Friday Night Tights. That's from George. Again, $100 on the donation side. Chrissie fan for $10 says Wet Spot is the very best podcast going.
Lie.
It's a fun show.
Wow. It's a fun
Friday
show.
Night Tights.
FNT. We like Wet Spot too.
Well, I like when she sleeps in a wet spot.
I was gonna say, if you use FNT right, you might get a wet spot.
There you go.
Got to strategically determine where the wet spot will be, so you don't have to fucking sleep in it.
Nowhere near the Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man.
Oh, there it is. True Pop Culture 7 for 50 British pounds. That's real money. Hail Friday Night Tights. I was hoping you could react to some YouTube meme vids I made using audio from your various shows with names like the Better British Accent and Taliban Plus. As I love that. As may have seen some already, you guys make me fall off my chair. Thank you all for the laughs. And thank you,
What
Pop
was that
Culture.
name?
It's called True Pop Culture 7. If you
All
could
right.
find it, yeah.
I'll go check out their. We obviously got to get through some super
Yeah,
chats,
yeah.
but I'll go check out your channel, man.
Comics Division's platform shoes for $20. It says Joe Biden falling upstairs 3 times. Chrissie Mayr on FNT. Here, hold my wine. Hold my wine. She'd say hold my beer too. Chrissie.
I'm doing so
So,
bad.
by the way, Tom Taylor is blocking everyone like a motherfucker right now.
Oh
Who's that?
no!
Anyone that mentions him is getting blocked
Who's Tom
immediately.
guy-
Carrie Smith's been the
The writer
latest
for
to go.
Gay. The writer for.
Oh, the
Gay
writer for
Superman.
Superman's gay and I'm a virtue signaling
Oh,
white
my
savior
God,
that
look
thinks
at
I'm making a
him.
change, but I'm not. It's all selfish and self-absorbed, and all I want is just personal praise. Taylor.
Wow, he looks like a thumb with a goatee.
Are you close? He's a massive bell end. And he's always been a massive bell end, this guy.
Is that a dickhead?
Yes. It's the head of the penis. It's the tip of the penis.
Bell
It's
end.
the bell end.
Because it looks like a bell.
So it looks like a bell.
I'm
and
figuring
it's
out how to
on
speak
the end.
English.
It's never too late, Ryan. I'm trying myself.
I mean, the
And the thing
Queen's
is,
English.
Carrie didn't even at him. She just quote tweeted the tweet saying,
Yep.
"Who wants this?" And he's
Nobody.
over it, and he's already
Oh.
blocked it.
Wow.
It's not a blockchain. It's just blocking people that are mentioning him. It looks like, from what I can tell, because I'm not blocked yet.
Yeah, I'm not blocked yet either.
And how sad is it? This is the most news Superman has had in the comics since he died, because they haven't been able to do anything exciting, hire the right people, and they keep hiring dipshits like Tom Taylor, and wonder why sales go down. And if anybody like this next issue, if you buy this next issue and you think it's going to be worth money, you're dumb.
You're
so if you have
wrong.
it and you want to sell it. But I would, this
News,
movie,
ooh.
it'll be worth $5 in 6, like most variants.
$5, dude. You're lucky. It's not
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be worth the paper it's printed on.
A
Which
new
is
study
$5.
suggests woke culture and pandering has had limited impact on alphabet mental health and self-deletion rates.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
almost
because
like it's almost like if someone has a mental illness, that maybe the treatment for that mental illness isn't just like, hey, just do that but harder and have everybody pretend like that's okay.
Yeah.
That
Or
turns out
create
that's not an
resentment.
actual treatment for mental illness. So
They're creating resentment by taking stuff away from people for no reason in the name of someone else's group. And it just fosters resentment and scorn. I can see how that doesn't help at all. Russ Man for $50 says, "Hail Friday Night Tights and to the cruel yet seductive Chrissie." Mr. Gore, it's great to see you again. I remember when your hair was dark and I had mine. Gary's here. Here's some walking around cash for when you're in Poolville.
Cool.
I want to see the chickens, man. I want to see the chickens.
Yes, let me see those cocks.
That's getting taken out. Perry Chan, paging Perry Chan. Let's go, Brandon. Friday Night Tights in the morning. Can't wait for the Tim Pool Show. Culture Casino for
I
$5.
think I've just been blocked.
I haven't
I
been.
haven't even mentioned him. I haven't even
What?
said anything. I think I've gone.
Oh my God.
Blocked
not
by
blocked.
association.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's have a look. Oh, no, it's just because it came up on a Kerry Smith tweet, so it blocked it from Kerry, so it showed that she couldn't do it. Okay.
Wow. Gay.
Let's go. Titans. I like that. The Titans, like tight, tights.
Titans.
Titans. Victor Potter, thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. And how am I supposed to say it now? Maud Dib, Paul.
Muad'Dib.
The sleeper must awaken for $20. So he's here.
What's up, Paul?
That's a good moniker for the fans. Friday Night Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was the TV show.
That's just Titans.
That's cool.
Night Train says, "Hail! They're remaking Home Alone with a British fat kid. I dislike Tim Curry, but I'm glad you're getting the channel 2 words, Dave Rubin."
Yeah, Az is in the new Home Alone movie. If you saw the previews for it, they just put glasses on him, but it's
I made my family disappear.
I fucking hated them.
They were a bunch of bell ends.
Your family leaves you at home and like go somewhere, and then you're
He's
just
like, yes!
throating a mic when your mom comes home. You're like, "Are you okay, Az? Oh yeah, I'm fine."
You're like,
can't
God,
answer.
we should have fucking stayed in Japan or where the fuck we went.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Another frozen pizza.
Chrissie's watched Home Alone a few times.
A few.
Okay, and this and here I just got to make sure I'm not missing it because this is probably the last one because I really do have to go. And hey, sorry the show, like I had to.
Sorry, it was a little short.
It was a little short and early, and I was late, and I'm on a laptop, and we did the best we could. So thanks to everyone for being here. I was early and late at the same time. See, only I can do it.
Only Gary can do that.
Hey, Boomer. Next time, bring an HDMI cable and output to your laptop TV for the second screen. All hail Friday Night Tights. I've got it. It wouldn't help because the TV is facing that way. So, and it's mounted to the wall. But I did try that. Thank you. I do think of things once in a while. Put Stan Lee wig, glasses, and a mustache on Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool and gave him to have him do cameos as Stan Pool. But he's gone now. Azure Kite for 360. He's gone. Gary, when and where are we all going to see Dune in San Diego next week? Hail Friday Night Tights, you all rock. Thanks for keeping it real. Says Viper Dude for $5. Oh, we can go see it probably somewhere downtown. I'm down with that. We can do like a little meetup watch party. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Not Another Dime for $50 says all awesome video. Hail Friday Night Tights. M Tax Sharp for $10 says hail all awesome Friday Night Tights fan intro. And of course, Dan Vask is the best. Yeah, I love that fucking video. That was great.
It was really cool.
I'm going to watch it again.
I wish I'd fucking done something. I was like,
I know.
But everything just kind of like caught up to me and it didn't have time. Now I'm like, fuck, I wish I would have done it.
I quickly got a video of myself just headbanging with my gremlin. It was like, I didn't know what he wanted. So I don't know and here fucking like Quarter Black Garrett goes shows us all up with his professional like fucking video and stuff.
And his fucking hair.
And his fucking hair.
He's got to give him something. It's not like he's got to
whatever.
Yeah, he's not part of anything special outside of Friday Night Tights. You got to give him what he can get. So.
We got to help him out.
Modalicious says he supports LGB. Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go.
That's funny.
Oh, that is good. Take it back.
Yeah, I've seen people say LGBT. Let's go, Brandon team. Like t-shirts. It's cute.
Yeah.
I'm LGBT. Yeah. Let's go, Brandon team.
Jokum Stark for 20 Swedish krona. This will be the last one. Says as starring in a new anime, Full Metal Blowjob. BJ. There we go. So let's quickly go around the horn and
I'm just showing the gay community what they're missing.
We will start with Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Hi. I'm just happy Gary is going to be going on Tim Pool. It's going to be awesome. Really happy for him. It's good stuff. And in the meantime, I'm probably going to hop over on Star Wars Theories live stream here as soon as I get bounced off of here just for a few minutes. So if you want to watch that while we're waiting for Gary to break the internet, because I think he's going to break the internet tonight. I think this is going to be a record show for Tim Pool. Probably overhyping him a little bit, but that's okay.
A little bit, just a tad.
But I want to see Friday Night Tights love in the chat when Gary's live. I want you to hype it up, and also want to congratulate Ryan Kennel for his Patriot Outpost channel. He's kicking ass over there, man. So
hell yeah,
gonna get that thing monetized pretty damn quick until they find out who you are, Ryan. So
thank you.
Well done, baby boy.
And I'll probably be live later tonight on Twitch, like late tonight, like midnight on Twitch, Geeks and Gamers. So check us out over there.
Remember that $600 invasive monitoring from the Phoebes was originally in Obamacare. Conservatives ripped it out of when they won midterms. Brandon put it back in now. Tells you who is actually running the government. Go cash, go crypto, hail. Thank you, George, again for $100. Thank you, George. And yeah,
thank you, George.
I did not know it was in there. We learn something every day. As is out, so we will say, Ryan, can you plug?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it quick. Go watch Gary on Tim Pool because it is fucking awesome. Appreciate the shout out, Jeremy. 24 days in and Patriot Outpost is eligible for monetization.
Hell yeah.
That'll be awesome.
That's awesome.
So, thank you.
Hell yeah. Comics Division.
Hey everybody! I'm super excited tonight about Gary being on Tim Pool. I think this is amazing. Go and check it out, and it was great hanging out with all of you guys and girl.
Thank you, Tom.
I love all these people, and I love all you out in the chat, and I'm so glad to be a part of this. And I think it's so exciting for Gary to be on Tim Pool tonight. Congratulations, buddy! I know you're probably nervous as piss, but hey, I think you're going to do great. So yeah. It's amazing. Nah, I'm kidding. You're not nervous, I'm sure. So no, congratulations, man. That's awesome. That's amazing.
Thanks, brother. Oh yeah, no pressure at all.
No pressure.
None whatsoever.
Whatsoever.
Jeremy's like, it's gonna be the biggest fucking show ever.
If you can't think anything, if you're on the spot, Gary, just say Civil War.
Yeah.
or graphene. Just say graphene.
As.
Yeah, I'm so glad that Friday Night Tights has changed its start time, so I can actually appear on it now.
Is somebody going to break the bad news to him? It's not going to be like this every week.
Bye. That's it. You know what I'm me.
Thanks.
Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Boo. Chrissie Mayr.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. Oh, thanks for having me, guys. A pleasure as always. I'm gonna be performing with Comedians of the Compound tomorrow in Jersey, Lakewood, New Jersey. It's the Blue Claw Stadium. I think there's tickets available still. Go to compoundcomedy.com. And then I'm headlining at TIFF's, the Dojo of Comedy, November 6th. And that's in Morris Plains, Jersey. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but tonight, Gary's going to be on Tim Pool.
What?
Holy shit.
So maybe check that out.
Wow.
Surprise.
Thank you, Chrissie.
Yeah.
Man, we're such assholes for not mentioning it.
Yeah.
We're assholes.
Assholes
and poles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks to all the holes and poles out there.
Yeah. Thank you,
mouth.
Chrissie, for being here. And Chris Gore.
Just want to say thank you, Gary, for having me on. Super excited for you being on Timcast IRL. I'll be watching. Cannot wait. Also, I am fans of all of you. It's just an honor for me to be here. It's especially special for me with the Chris and Chrissie show kind of going on, and thank you. You can follow my outlet Film Threat. It's Film Threat on everything, filmthreat.com. You can follow me. I'm that Chris Gore. And a quick recommend for an indie movie, because that's what keeps me sane with franchises just like being destroyed. The Spine of Night. It's an animated feature coming out. Just look up the trailer. It's like a heavy metal comic brought to life. It's fucking awesome. It uses a whole rotoscoping technique. You'll love it. I hope you guys all watch it. You will love it. Gary, thank you again for allowing me to be on the show. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It's
Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming on early so we could be late, but early still. It'll be back at its regular time next week. Sorry, Az. Sorry, buddy. So, yeah, I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I make videos once in a while. There's a Dune video that I have to fix, and it'll be out soon. And yes, I will be on Timcast IRL in a couple of hours. Please enjoy. Oh, thank you to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who's left a super chat. I will get them on the Square Up, they are on Nerdrotic Live. That's where all the other live streams go, except for this one. This one stays right here on the channel. And there's Nerdrotic Daily, which takes clips from this and those other ones. And that's run with Perry Chan, who makes our wonderful clips. And we will go out with one of them now. So bye, everybody.
Bye. Real chat.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's all say goodbye and then be pushed into a corner where we're still here.
Yeah, and then goodbye.
UFO is approaching our sector. Jet squadrons investigate.
Intruder attention. We demand that you reveal your identity.
You guys should have some Vegemite.
It's a trap!
Vegemite.
Okay, Johnny, let him go.
Boobies.
Boobs. Round 1. Fight.
Vegemite.
Boobs.
Big fat titties.
You guys should have some Vegemite.
Chrissie Mayr's boobs wins. Titty-tality.
Nerdrotic.com.
Here they come and the crowd cannot wait. Oh, well, Friday night fight. I apologize cause I'm probably late. Oh, well, Friday night fight. Radical lights and highly organized. It's Friday night times, Friday night times. Time has come, they are finally here. Oh, well, Friday night times. We're not affiliated, just so we're clear. Oh, well, Friday night times. Sweet Mother Mary, turn on the eye, you got It's Friday night times, Friday night times, Friday night times, Friday night times, Friday night times.
Hail! Bye, everybody.
Bye.